episode 15 of the Anime Symposium. I'm your host, Andrew, and with me I have Dawson.
What's up, guys?
And Connor.
What's up? I'm not the real Connor. I'm just a illusion of the real Connor who comes from the internet.
Anyway, alongside us, we, to more of a redemption to come back on, we have Jay returning. Say hello.
Hi. Yes, hello. I've slept this time.
Jay
Yeah.
will be here
Yeah,
making up
he
for the
slept.
lack of stuff we can say about what we just saw.
No, so Jay, do you want to explain to us, and to our zero viewers why you decided to come back on?
Well, last time I was here, I believe I hadn't slept in, I think it was like 60 hours, and we were talking about White Album 2, which I hold very dear to my heart. Not really. And, I figured I might want to do this, awake. I still have yet to listen to myself half asleep, because that's
Oh,
terrifying.
that's good. Oh, it's great. You did fine. You did fine, man.
It's okay.
right, we
I try
never
to
listen to any
I try
of
to
our
never
podcasts.
listen to myself.
Oh, I'm the only one who ever listens to us. It's great. But yeah, so you're here to just kind of chill out with us because you've been watching a lot of Latin American film, and
Yeah.
you wanted to just talk about anime with us again.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what? What's the correlation here?
Connor's a bit confused.
Well, see, what happened was I'm taking a Latin American film class. So I'm studying Latin American culture through film.
Got it.
And sometimes I'm reading the subtitles and I'm like, wow, I should be watching some anime right now.
Okay, cool.
I really like some of the films, but then there's some of them that I'm like, ooh.
I'd rather go be
Just horror films, okay.
watching like anime.
I'd rather be. There's a bumper sticker.
Yeah, that really is.
I get that bumper sticker. Anyway, going off what Connor said. Actually, no. How are you guys this weeks?
Pretty busy.
Yeah, I know you're pretty busy.
I was pretty busy this whole week. I'm actually trying in school now, and that makes things very difficult for me.
Connor, turn off your phone off.
Connor.
I will be back.
Anyway, how are your guys' weeks?
Are we doing this again?
Yeah.
Okay. It was busy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually trying now, so that makes things quite difficult, but it's also enjoyable. Poetry's cool. Yeah, I read one manga.
And we'll get to that later.
Yeah, which I'll get to later.
So just
I
a busy
wish
week.
Yeah, I wish I had more manga to talk about. Oh, I can talk about another manga I forgot to talk about.
Okay, we'll save that for Dawson's manga corner.
I was just recalling things here. Stream of consciousness. How about you guys?
I've been good. I've been learning how to program in Python, I guess. So,
Python.
As you can see, Connor's just volume limit just goes super low.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
I don't know. I've been tired. That's about it.
Yeah.
I can't really say why. You ever have one of those weeks where you just feel tired all the time?
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah, I mean,
know
my
the
week
feeling.
was very uneventful. Yeah.
Aren't we such exciting people?
I know.
Hey, Jay, how was your week? Besides what you described to us off camera.
Right. My week has been interesting. It's been busy. Lots of work and work-related things to do. But I have had a chance to jump in on a few shows.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
But, yeah, I mean, just staying busy, doing some theater
good.
stuff, some shenanigans.
So it's fun.
Oh, it's good.
Otherwise, that's pretty much it, really.
Okay, we've been beating around the bush. It's time.
I want to beat around it more. Hey, Dawson, want to tell him what happened last night when I tried to come in?
Oh, yeah.
I was knocking on the door, and I was like, it was a guy's 21st birthday, and I wanted to bring him mojitos that I just made. Because I like making new drinks and shit. So I was knocking on. I left the party. I got some. Started filling it up. I came back, knocked on the door, and Mario was with me. So Dawson opened the door, let Mario in, and as I'm about to go in, Dawson stops me. He goes, "Whoa! It's a bad idea." Kind of just pushes me back out and closes the door, and I was like, "Okay."
It wasn't a good time. It was. I was doing it for his own benefit, but I believe it was a little bit jarring to just suddenly be told stop, turn around, go away. This is not the time to bring those here.
And we know the context of why that happened, but
Yeah.
okay, that's really good. That's was that the most eventful thing from last night that I missed?
That was probably the most eventful thing. I was just like, what happened?
That's fun. I mean, besides you not realizing Woodstock was like a block away.
Okay, you can fuck off. You weren't even part of that conversation.
Yeah, I know. We were like talking about
We were just
shit.
trying to do shit, and Andrew's like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? I'm like, Andrew, you're at home. Talk to your family.
My family left. My family left me. I was sitting in the dark by myself.
God damn it.
They went to go to a party without me.
Wow. even
Andrew
your
was having
family
his own
ditches you.
party by himself.
Sake!
Actually, no. I did
Andrew,
write.
some homework.
No, yeah, I actually wrote up a resume last night. Wrote it up really quickly. Dawson, I kind of took some of your ideas from
Go
your
for
skills
it.
list. Then I also immediately went to go look for internships and found one. Wrote up a quick cover letter, submitted my application because the due date was today, and I sent it in. And I was like, I'm probably not gonna get that because of what I just with that resume and cover letter I sent in. Probably not gonna get that interview at least. So I'm gonna go
Find some more.
Find some more. But I was like,
That's always a
that
good
was
idea.
a lot of work for one night. Poured myself a Coke and just sat there and drank it.
Indeed.
But
Show
anyway,
them some-
now it's time to stop beating around the bush. And
Time to...
if it wasn't hinted at earlier from Connor's
Introduction.
comment, but this week we watched
Serial Experiments
yeah,
Lain.
sorry.
Or
For
as
some,
Andrew calls it,
my serial
Serial
experiment
Experiments.
lane.
Because we corrected him on his mistake, and then he just, despite us, never fixed it.
So it's the same way he still calls tsundere as tsunderes.
It's the same.
Refuses to fix that.
But so Jay, you haven't seen this, so this is why I said it's gonna be very confusing for you.
Oh, I'm excited.
Serial Experiment Lane is Connor's second choice for us to watch. After we came off of Midori Days last week, we need to watch a good anime.
No,
Let's
I didn't.
watch Serial Experiment
No one
Lane.
said that.
Yeah, I think Connor should explain the process behind his choosing of this.
My process of my choose. Wow, that was hard to say. The way that I chose my animes for this little list was it's like stuff you would kind of put on your bucket list. I just needed to get rid of some of this stuff.
Like things you need to watch eventually.
Yeah,
but
some of the random shit I've been watching this week was Nichijou and what was the
Azumanga
other
Daioh.
one?
Oh yeah, I
Azumanga
forgot
Daioh.
we were watching Nichijou.
Yeah,
That was great.
I was just
I was
getting
really
those out of the way.
I was really sad I had to stop watching Nichijou to watch this.
Yeah.
Nichijou's great.
But so continue with the train of thought, Connor.
So I was like, oh, this is like this show that everyone talks about, like being really deep and weird and like hard, like kind of hard to follow, but it has like a lot of stuff behind it.
So Evangelion.
And
last two episodes.
My God, did this thing deliver in almost like the wrong way?
Honestly, I felt like this made a little bit more sense than the last two episodes of Evangelion, but that's beside the point.
But see, here's the thing. With this, it was the entire series was that confusing.
Instead of condensed down to 2 episodes, it was 12 episodes. So, Dawson.
It was 13.
Oh, 13. Dawson, please tell us what Serial Experiment Lane is about in a very non-spoilery way.
I don't care. It's the first thing I have to say about this show, and it'll probably be the last thing I say about this show at some point. I just didn't care. Nothing about this show made me care. But if you would like a summary,
I was
You
asking
just
for
wanted a plot summary, Dawson.
if you
Jesus.
just wanted a plot
I
summary,
didn't want a review here yet.
it is about. I just thought I had to get that out there. But
It's been building up
basically,
in him.
there is a girl named Lain who lives in a house, and she asks her dad to get her a new computer
Because
after some girl who commits suicide sends her a message.
to be like, yo, get
Over
up on
that.
the web.
She's like, hey, I'm dead, or I'm not dead, even though I committed suicide, get on the webs. And she's like, okay, I'm gonna go get a new
she's just saying
navy
bodies are overrated.
and
That's
link
all
out.
she was
Yeah,
saying.
it's a lot of stuff on bodies, and it basically spirals from there into
Into a very
into
art
a lot of
house
things.
piece. Oh, wait.
Okay,
I
yeah.
forgot to say we had to do. I can't believe we didn't do this first.
I was wondering when you were gonna remember.
So, shall we all do this together?
No, we will do this at a time when no one's expecting it. You're not
Okay.
gonna. I'm not building this up. We can do this at a random point.
Okay.
I may know what you're doing, and I really hope it's not what I think it is.
So, Yeah, it kind of spirals down to this kind of art house piece. I don't know, like art house.
It's
and all
very
that.
stylized.
Yeah, it's very stylized. It doesn't really tell you exactly what's going on, and it's one of those animes where they say, "Yo, watch this 10 times and then get it."
It's very, the way I want to describe it is Y2K. It's a whole like scare because people don't really understand technology all that well back in the day. So it's like this is all like this crazy stuff that technology's gonna do. Like one of the weird plot points is the internet is leaking into real life, and they take that as a totally science fictional way instead of a just stupid like Digimon world shit kind of way.
They take it to a very literal perspective.
Like they actually think that could maybe happen, and it's
so
weird.
now let's do our
Dude,
short
they
review.
don't just think. Oh,
Let's
never mind.
Let's do our short reviews on this before we get into our long discussion. So,
really quickly before that, also, quick note on the art and the whole thing's very minimalistic with their sound design, their visuals, the animation.
and it's very old. It's from 1990.
Yeah.
I don't know. They have a lot of detail and
No, they do not have a lot of detail.
Walking any scene with Lane's room.
Which wait. Can I just say Lain has the most adorable pajamas known to man?
What does that have to do with what we were talking?
Not a what?
I mean, it does. They're kind of cool looking.
Oh my god.
But
Jay, I will send you a picture as they're talking right now about this of Lane's pajamas.
Are we really gonna argue about this though?
Pajamas?
There are scenes where it's minimalistic, but then you see like the shadows.
Most of the
shadows
time.
aren't even shadows. They're like this bubbling
okay,
lava
that's just a
substance.
fucking copy pasted texture. They use it for fucking everything, and it's not that special looking.
Yeah, so
It's not just a black shadow, but it's literally just like some purple blobs.
So does that fucking
on
Count of
some
Monte
black.
Cristo anime. I forgot what that one's called.
Okay,
one
the
I
Count
like
of
so
Monte
much.
Cristo is a great movie, but I haven't seen the anime.
Is that what it is? It's the
It was originally a book.
what's the fucking anime that's like that? It uses the stupid Chowder. You ever watch Chowder?
No. I
Oh.
watched one episode of Chowder, and I was really disturbed by it.
Hey
Yeah,
Jay,
And I didn't watch
this
it
is
anymore.
Lane
this is
kind
the
of does that too with
pajamas.
its shadows.
Shit.
Lane's shadows has this like texture that kind of like bubbles in the background, and
It doesn't move, though. It doesn't move.
It kind of.
It just sits there.
Mm.
They have a special shadow texture, and it just sits there as a weird shadow texture. That's all it does.
It was odd.
It's just like, hey, look at our cool shadow texture. Aren't we a cool show? It's
I
like,
think
no.
Dawson's a little bitter about the shadows.
Wait, Jay,
There's
were
a
you
lot
able?
of things.
One second, Jay, were you able to see that image?
It's not linking correctly, but I'm trying to see what's going on.
I'm about to send you the better one.
Because as a show, I'm not gonna say, oh, I really like this or this is my favorite show, but like design wise and like just looking and watching and listening to it, like this was actually really interesting to just kind of experience.
There's a lot of.
I felt most of it was poorly executed and overused.
So this
Every
is the
ti-
pajamas?
Every time they showed something cool,
1 second.
they'd reuse it
To hammer in
too
the
many
point.
times
Yeah.
until it was dead. And it was long dead. And it was... I don't know. This show should have been like 3 episodes.
It should have been
OVAs.
FLC. It should have been FLCL with 6 episodes.
No, it couldn't even handle 6 episodes. You gotta break it down to 3, dude.
Jesus,
Yeah.
Dawson.
So, Jay, for your information, yes, that's the pajamas. What is your opinion?
Save me now.
Aren't they the best pajamas ever?
You know, I fear just by looking at this one picture of pajamas that the rest of this anime would scare me.
Oh wait, well,
Oh, it's
okay,
actually a
okay.
little bit
Take
frightening.
FLCL, right? You've watched FLCL.
Yeah.
Take out the fun.
Take out
Oh,
all the
no.
fun.
And make it ridiculously slow.
Oh no.
And even more like hard to understand.
So, what
The
is your
best
guys'
part about
small
FLCL
review of this? With
No spoilers, small review.
Watch while high for the weirdest trip ever.
Don't.
What about-
What?
It's please don't. That would not
Get-
be a good
Dawson said he
experience.
would like it would ruin him if he watched this high.
Grab some alcohol, take a seat, and just enjoy.
No, even
Just
better.
don't
Find a
watch
friend
it.
who knows nothing about the show and watch their reactions as they watch the show.
AJ, next time we hang out, we'll watch this.
Oh no. No, this is one of those did you get it shows. And
It is.
I don't
it
want
is.
to watch a Did You Get It
So
show.
Did You Get It?
So let's.
We looked up multiple exclamations and they were all different.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course.
So before we get into that discussion,
Are we doing our reviews?
Yeah,
or
let's
did
do
that
it.
count as it?
Let's do. What do you think?
I think
What
we
do
know
you
what Dawson
recommend?
thinks.
I think you can tell what I can whether or not I recommend this. But let me just say, I didn't care about the show. I didn't care about the characters. I didn't care about the main plot line. I didn't care about the art style. I didn't care about most of the music. The only thing I found interesting about this show was its underlying concepts, and that is not enough to redeem it for me. Uh, I do not recommend it to most people unless you're like really into this sort of thing. Um, and I like slow stuff, and this was just way too slow. The pacing was way off.
So hopping off of that is that I
Yeah.
don't like slow stuff, and I found myself. Okay, I kept saying it's like, okay, I need to watch this. And every time I watched this, I felt intrigued by the images that I was seeing on the screen, and I felt that there's some underlying meaning that once I get it, everything will be just like that, and everything will just be like, this is the best. Like this is actually really interesting and really in depth and stuff like that. But the problem is, every time I stopped watching it, I went, shit, I have to go watch that.
Okay.
And then I drag myself to watch it, and then click on another video. And this is one of the worst. This is one of the slowest experiences I've had watching an anime. Where I'd watch half an episode, go watch something else for like 20 minutes, come back and watch the rest of the half of the episode. Or, you know what, go do something else with my life. The only time I actually binged it is when me and Connor sat down, and I sat there in silence for 8 episodes.
Yeah, you're being kind of lame, honestly. I was having a good time.
No, Connor, you sat there just coming up with theories and all this. It was like, oh, if you put this together and this together, 2 minus 1 equals fish, Illuminati
What
shit.
the fuck? I didn't say anything near that. I was just saying the information they gave to us thus far. Andrew would look away from the screen at like the most vital moments and go, Connor, what'd they say? After the guys just said like an essay of shit. And I'm like, Andrew, I'm not explaining this to you. The fuck?
No, okay. Some of those moments I was eating, and I looked down to put a piece of food in my mouth, and looked up and realized I missed 2 minutes of a conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
the entire time I was watching this, I was just sitting there with my head in my hands, like, give me something to care about so I can stop wanting this to be over.
I kind of felt that too. I wanted it to be over, and honestly, I can't recommend it. I don't understand how it reaches that 7.98 on my anime list, because I feel like a lot of other people who
dude, it's an 8 point something on IMDb too. Like, people like this shit.
It's all the art people.
People liked White Album too. I don't know why.
I know why.
I can understand why you would like this show, and I understand why people do like this show, but I personally
do not
like this show.
Okay, let's keep moving forward, and then we can talk more in depth, because this is just kind of stunting our stuff right now.
So you would recommend this thing, Connor?
Okay. Mine's a little bit more complicated than Dawson's don't touch this shit with the 49
I mean, you can
review.
some people, if you think if you read the description and watch the first episode and you think this is interesting, watch it. You're going to have a good time.
You will know
but if you watch the first episode and you're like, why should I care? Just stop right there. You're not going to care.
Okay.
They're not going to give you anything.
This is definitely kind of too deep for you stuff in a way. However, unlike FLCL, I felt like in conversations I could actually I understood better what the characters were saying in conversations. But as the show as a whole was really confusing and really disjointed, and it never helped that fact. Whenever you thought it was explaining something, it made it even worse. Until like the last two episodes.
You're right. It did do that.
So,
see, with Liz of the Evangelion, I had a good grasp on its plot, even towards the end.
Let me finish. So as a whole...
No, I will interrupt you!
As a whole, I really enjoyed like the actual process of watching it and seeing just what kind of weird shit they would put on the screen next. And it was repetitive, like Dawson said, but I felt like every time they did repeat something, there was a slight variation to it. It was almost like a pattern, but with like they were changing little bits. Like that kind of kept it a bit more interesting. So all in all, if you like just kind of experiencing weird shit and you want to try and figure out this mystery, or or if you really like,
Yeah, wait.
if you really like the end of Evangelion or any mindfuck moments or fucking Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, shit
or
like
FLCL.
This is absolutely nothing like FLCL.
That. Oh my god, because you liked FLCL and you don't like this. That's why. No, I'm sorry. Anyways, but the theme of this,
There's nothing that's the same about them.
besides how everything is just a metaphor for something else, and like it's really hard to understand the stuff, and it's all weird and artsy, and like
It really wasn't
they're
that
talking about
hard to understand either of these.
there's this weird godlike character in the background that ends up not being that important, and they okay.
If
Anyways,
you just roll with the punches and don't question it, it really isn't that confusing.
what?
Hey Jay,
Lain
you
or
watch
FLCL?
FLCL? Was that
Both.
confusing to you?
FLCL was interesting. I think for the most part, if you just sat there and watched it and you didn't try and, I assume if I watched it a second time, I would have a different opinion. But if you just sit there for the first time and watch it and say, "Oh, okay," I mean, that was probably interesting. There were some great gags. There's some great comedy and some great gags in there. And like most people, if you really analyzed it, you could probably sit down and come up with a bunch of theories. But if you just sit and watch it, it's entertaining.
So what I feel like Lane did differently than shows like that was, like Dawson said, the underlying theme, which was this weird cyberpunk kind of, sorry, higher, sorry, jeez, what was it called? The Y2K, like, what else can I kind of put
Okay,
in
if
here?
FLCL
War games, stuff
yeah,
like that.
okay.
It's like the old, like,
If FLCL was kind of this piece about growing up and maturity and sexualization stuff like that, this is more like internet and the future of internet and a lot of computer stuff.
And yeah, but it's like people who didn't really understand it. So it's like, oh, there's this analog computer, but it has the power to control reality and shit like that.
So yeah, it comes from the pre-internet era.
Yeah, when they didn't really understand it, and there's all these like fears in the back of people's minds. It also has to do with sort of like people's addiction with the internet. A lot of that comes up where it's like, oh, I don't need the real world. This is like the only world I need and stuff. So if those are kind of the themes that you're into, this might be the kind of show for you. Also, personally, I can't give this a number rating. It was an experience.
Oh, I'm gonna ask for numbers later.
And I don't regret the fact that I made myself sit down and watch this, because now I can say I did, and kind of.
I regret the fact.
What, really?
No, I'm kidding. Dawson regrets the fact.
This was
I
off
just
my
feel
bucket
like
list.
I wasted my time. I mean, I feel like I needed to watch it to know that I wasted my time, and because so many people talk about it.
It's like how you need revenge to know that you didn't need revenge.
God, can we not talk about that yet?
Wait,
That's
what's
a good
that
question.
from?
Gate,
That's from
dude.
Gate.
Oh, that's the best.
What's up?
I actually have a question. Do you think, naturally, I haven't seen this, but do you think that maybe at the time in which this was produced, people liked it a lot more than perhaps someone who, we watch it in 2016? So do you think it had a lot more impact in 1998 when it was first produced?
Oh, definitely,
I
because
feel-
people didn't know shit about technology back then.
I feel a couple years later is probably when it got its biggest.
Yeah.
I didn't look at this or anything, but I'm guessing when it first came out, a lot of people probably
Didn't get it.
dismissed it offhand.
Granted,
And then a couple people, and then it's probably started getting popular a few years down the line.
Granted,
That
here's
was
the thing.
still a long
Lain.
time
Here's
ago,
the thing.
though.
We
Yeah.
consider it slow. But the thing is, like, if you think about it, how speed has always been picking up throughout the years. 18 years ago, people might have looked at this and thought it was at a
Dude.
good pace.
It's made at the same time as Ava, Die Buster, Cowboy Bebop. All of those have
And
fine
they're pretty
pacing.
slow.
This is on an entirely another level.
I didn't even notice the slowness. I was so confused
No,
on the
okay,
plot
wait,
that I
wait.
just couldn't.
Okay, you know what? We'll get to that in a
If
minute.
you're lingering
so
on a
desperate.
picture,
Whoa. We'll move on. But the thing, because I need to find a place to cut this off now before we start getting
Because
Okay.
Andrew has
much.
to fill an arbitrary cut where he like splits up. I'm just kidding. I'm just being mean. It's okay. You can go ahead and stop it.
I mean, we do have to cut
Andrew's
up
like
our
pointing
video.
to get out.
Get out of the room right now.
But so overall, we would not recommend this for most people.
For most people.
Yeah, you can watch it. Watch the first
It's
episode,
alright.
and
We're
you'll
not the
know right
recommendation
then.
you're gonna listen to though, so you'll probably watch it anyways.
And if you're Jay, he would watch it despite us.
Yeah, maybe.
Jay's like,
Almost protest, but then.
So anyway, let's move on to the discussion section.
Okay.
Speed. let's start again at speed.
If you're gonna linger on the same shot for a long period of time, there needs to be a point behind it. And when you do it, don't. Okay. Like, the first time we see the shot on the porch, where Lain comes out the door and walks down the white, featureless stairway with a brief shadow on it, it's a really minimalistic shot. The first time I saw that, that was really cool. I was like, okay, this is really interesting. And then they showed that shot again and again and again and again. And it was never a quick shot when they showed it again. Like, showing it once like that is entirely purposeful and very meaningful. But when you keep doing it over and over again, it starts to lose meaning. And they had so many times when they would linger on a single shot with no dialogue or music going on whatsoever, which I'm fine with if there's a specific goal behind that. Like, if the goal of that is to set the mood or something like that. But most of the time, the mood has already been set. Plus, it lingers on the pictures for way longer than it needs to. And half the time, they're not well drawn enough for me to actually care to look at the picture. Like, there are cool shots, like her room. But a lot of the other shots, the same fucking shot of the power lines.
Power lines, yes.
Over and over and over again. And that was slightly relevant for a little bit later.
Yeah, that was always at, like, the exact same point in the episode, too, though. That was always at the beginning, right after the theme song. They'll be talking about something, they have the car stop,
Do
and then
something
go around the person, and then
different.
that power line.
Mix it up a little bit. Also,
maybe there's, like, hidden hints to, like, what part of, like, reality they're in at this point. I don't know.
There's all the dialogue.
Here's the thing that what struck me when you're like slowness is when I was talking to Connor about this and we were talking about it being slow because after your first comment about the first episode a couple of days ago, Connor just goes, "What are you talking about? This is like there's so much going on. It's so like everything is filled with. It's so dense." And
it's not dense.
And it's so fast paced, and I don't know what. Connor, you could say it better. I don't know.
I'm not sure if you're just trying to throw me under the bus here. Or...
No, you were telling me that.
Okay, every point in this show, they're like giving you some weird random hint, and then immediately moving on to the next thing. And I understand like when they actually are doing each part of this, like it takes a long time to get through this like section, but they'll do this section, and then it'll like they won't. There's no what's it called? There's no in between on a lot of this stuff. They're doing one thing, and then they're doing the next thing, and then they're doing the next thing. Whenever they want to, like, show, oh, this is a weird shot of her room, they'll go to her room, and then they'll go to a next shot, and you'll have no idea, like, how many weeks or years or days later this is. Because there's not really a transition, which I found really jarring, and I felt like that's what made it feel really fast to me, because I just didn't know how fast time was even moving in this. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's a weird, like the show freaked me out at some points just because I was like, what the fuck is happening? And okay, I'd like to move this to the discussion on episode 8 and 9 just because I really want to get it off our chest already because
I need to talk about the dialogue really quick before we do that. As another thing in terms of slowness, I think it's the dialogue was extremely slow, and normally I like slower dialogue because it gives you time to focus on a specific character's face, their facial expressions, etc. And this show almost did that, but the animation just wasn't good enough to actually show you anything about the character's like internal thought process through a long shot on their face. So it's just a long shot staring at their face with some text sitting at the bottom of the screen for a while.
It did Orgargoid,
and it did that
there
over and over again. Also, another favorite shot of this show is the close-up on someone's eyes, or in the fisheye of someone's face from really close. Mm-hmm. Both of those were cool the first couple of times it showed them, and then it did it every episode.
A lot less cute when they did that to her, though.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, look at this.
The pajamas are the cutest thing!
No, but then you see, like, just the weird pajamas of Lain.
Dude, the big pajamas are so adorable.
No, whenever she's in the pajamas, she's cool.
I'd buy a future daughter.
But like, there'll be scenes when it's just like you're looking at her forehead, through her forehead at her eyes or some shit like that.
Yeah, and that was cool the first 2 times they did it, and then they
do it a lot.
10 other times, 9, 20, who knows how many times they do that shot.
So
since we're You go, Jay.
I haven't seen this, but I'm trying to follow along and figure this out. So, why do you think they would do something like that? Why do you think they would use really long, stagnant shots for a period of time? Obviously, for some artistic purpose, but what was the artistic purpose?
I mean, I think they're just trying to. I think they were going for a really slow aesthetic with the show. Like, I think they really wanted you to be stopping and thinking about what's going on
they
in
were
the
giving
dialogue.
you time to think. Is one
Yeah,
of the things
they're
I
like,
wanna
we've
say.
showed you things, and I want you to be thinking here. But I think the main problem
Is
I
that
mean,
they did
I
it
think
too
that's
much.
I think that's the choice, and why they did that is because
But you don't think it's a
they
smart
wanted
choice.
you to think. But I didn't feel like I needed that time to think. I did a little experiment. I tried watching one of the episodes at 1.5 times speed, and besides the funny voices, I found it considerably better. I mean, I don't believe in watching shows sped up because that's like not how the artist wanted you to watch it. Like whoever made the show,
But
it's the speed.
you shave off
It is.
like how much time would you shave
I
off?
don't think you should watch shows like that.
When
I'm
you're gonna
highly
review
against
it,
that.
I don't know.
But I really wanted to try it with this show because of how many problems I had with the pacing. And I was still bored. But I found it a little more bearable. But I only did that for like one episode just to try.
You shave off 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Don't watch shows like that, Andrew. Don't do it.
Okay.
The sushi's crying. The artist is crying.
Oh my god.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
We
Yes,
are gonna
Jay,
get to that.
Jay, you're gonna be so excited when we tell you about this anime
God,
we're
Andrew,
watching.
stop hyping up stuff before we get to it. All right.
Okay,
Okay.
you want to go to episode 8?
Please, because this
Okay.
is, I feel like, is one of the biggest discussions that we have like such a separation on. That you
Okay.
feel like you actually understood what the show was saying most of the time, and I just didn't.
So
I
before
mean, I don't
this,
pretend to
so
understand that.
Jay,
I know a lot of it, but I know some of it.
so Jay, you've listened to us and heard us talk about this show, and you probably have no interest in watching this show.
You know, there's sometimes when I have to watch shows that say, "Did you get it?" But most of the time, if I'm done, or it's like if I'm after work or after I've had a long day, I'm usually into watching some like ridiculous, silly comedy slash romance shenanigans. If I had to watch this one, I feel like I would need 3 days off. I would need to have like blackout blinds over all of my curtains, and I would need to like hunker down in my room and like sit there with a notepad and paper and maybe two
Really
notepads.
think it over.
Yeah, 2 notepads I think is necessary, and a music stand. And so I could sit there and like go episode by episode and have to watch like every episode twice, and then I feel like I would have the urge to write a paper about it afterward.
Okay.
Highly specific,
So
but yes.
the main question, the reason why I was asking that is because we're about to go into some spoiler territory.
Oh, good.
So, basically,
It won't explain anything. Don't
won't
worry.
explain anything. But at this point, the main character has built up this supercomputer. Basically, like, so she starts off with this like child's computer, and she asks her dad to get a high tech
Navi.
one,
They call these Navis.
and she gets like top of the line, best computer ever, right?
Which is totally the same thing they call their computer or their little friends in Mega Man. Just saying.
And
Net
anyways,
navies.
Intel single core Pentium processor, you know.
so they,
Of
they,
course.
they get the best computer out on the market, and she gets it. And then she starts taking it apart.
And then she finds this weird chip, and they're like, "Oh, you can install this in the back of your computer." And we're like, "Cool, she's gonna like do something cool with her computer." No, like the next episode, she's like installing these giant cooling towers for like this massive machine she's building. And like this is a person who at the beginning of the episode goes, "I don't know shit about computers."
But here's the thing: that's part of her character where she's able to learn fast, which is supposed to
Well,
key
there's
us
a
off.
huge
Yeah.
reason
Which,
for this.
yeah, exactly.
Yes, she's able to learn really fast.
Speaking of which, she's just discovered that there's another Lain that's been going around and doing weird shit.
Okay, I figured that out too. Doing some read ups.
And apparently, like, people kept going, "Oh, she's the real Lain, and you're just like a illusion of her and weird shit like that."
Oh no.
And
Oh
like
no.
this Lane's been going around, and this other Lane's been going around and like trolling her best friend and like ruining her life. So Lane's like, "Okay, I'm going to make everyone forget everything that happened with this person." And I don't know how the fuck she does this. She just says, "I'm gonna do it," and she does it. right?
Um,
And then she
It's
goes
through the seventh protocol.
seventh protocol, whatever.
yeah.
Time
Jay,
flies back.
give me a minute real quick. Jay, I will be sending you a picture of what Lane's room looks like.
All right.
But continue.
Terrifying.
Anyways, so she flies back in time or something, and then she's like just walking to school with her friends. She's like, cool, everyone probably forgot everything. And then you see this like illusion of her walk out of her. Like, you know those whole like body splitting moments when your body walks forward and you don't? Like that you see in shows sometimes? They have this moment and they're like, and then that person goes and like starts talking to her friends and stuff and acts like totally different from her. And we're thinking, oh, that's like the evil Lain, and she's acting all like different to try and fool her friends and stuff. And then the very next episode, episode 9, I'm going to skip over a few of these things, but I'll come back to them later. But in the middle of the episode, she walks into the classroom and her desk just isn't there. So it's instead of implying that she's split into two people and like herself is a ghost.
I actually think I figured that out.
I have a lot to say about this.
Sorry. Instead of herself being a ghost, she just now doesn't exist, and that whole like fake Lain that walked out doesn't exist either. And I'm just wondering, what were they going to do with all that?
Okay.
And to complicate matters, not only would they go off on these... Have you watched JoJo at all?
No, he has not
Okay,
watched JoJo.
in JoJo, they'll do this stuff where they'll like make this weird exposition about the real world that has almost nothing to do with the show, but it's just a little bit of context for what's going on in the show. They do this like 7 times during the episode.
In
about
very
all this
jarring
weird,
moments.
high-level like science fiction... Not really science fiction, it's like potentially true science shit, Area 51, and they have fucking aliens walking around in the background, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on now? This episode got really weird, like really fast, and this was like as we felt like we were starting to get what's going on. I don't know.
Okay,
so
in
first,
terms of the two lanes.
First, Jay, did you see the picture?
Yeah, this is the FBI's worst nightmare.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, that's all I wanted to hear.
Oh,
okay.
and Lain somehow gets psychic powers, apparently.
Okay, no, I got that.
Okay, so from what I understand, I haven't read anybody else's theories on this. This is just what I have from watching the show.
I'll go next.
Basically, where am I going to start with this? Okay, on the subject of two lanes. That sounds like a really cool name for a book. Or an essay.
One is... there's actually 3, if you remember. There's 3 lanes.
Okay.
There's the shy...
Let me talk, and then you can talk. Yes?
I know, but...
I want to get this out uncorrupted by any other thought process or opinion that is not my own.
Okay.
I'm curious as to what other people say, but I want to know after I've defined what I think and say. Basically, as far as I could understand with two lanes, is that she would, like, as she's, like, originally part of the Wire, I'm not entirely sure of her origin, but basically there ends up with a her in a physical body and the her that exists in the Wired.
Yes.
And these are two...
Wired is the internet.
The Wired is the internet, yes, for Jay, and those who have not watched this and are still watching this. Have not watched Lain but are still watching this. Basically, there is there is the Lain that exists in the Wired and the Lain that exists in her physical body. And because of Protocol 7, which is what the dude that she met up with and helped him with the computer, and she got freaked out about the whole Knights thing, I'm pretty sure he was the one who was doing stuff with Protocol 7. And basically what Protocol 7 does is it links people up. The entire world, every person, is linked up wirelessly without the need for a physical computer present. Like, that's why we got the whole scene with the guy walking around with his
universal
backpack.
Consciousness.
Yeah, it's basically a universal consciousness, and that's why we have the scene of the guy in earlier episodes. There's the guy walking around the city with the backpack and his goggles on, yelling out to the Knights. Like, he thinks he's come to another level of evolution by integrating himself with technology, but I'm pretty sure the reason we were shown him was so that we know this isn't actually the next step as he thinks it is. This is a fake next step. The real next step is to fully and unconsciously connect everyone's brains together.
Yes.
Okay.
So as everyone's brains are connected together and there is a general universal consciousness, because there is a Lain that exists in the Wired and a Lain that exists in the physical world, it can project itself into people's minds and into memories, etc. So basically when she gets the full out-of-body experience thing, that is basically the Lain that exists in the Wired comes out, and I don't know if I don't know exactly how it works. If she takes over her body and pushes the Lain that we know into the Wired,
Well,
and
in a
as
way, the
an
one we know is
observational
just
force.
a thing herself.
Yeah, she's
It's just
also
a
not
hologram sort of
that much.
herself.
She was the one who originally inherited the body.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
However, she got her body. So basically, the Lain that existed in the Wired either takes over the body or doesn't even need to take over the body because of Parallel 7. She can just, or Protocol 7, she can just project herself into it, into the world, basically, because the two aren't really separate.
Okay.
So on the subject of two Lains, one of them is from the Wired, one of them is regular, and because of Protocol 7, she can become physically part of the world.
No, I know, and
Yeah.
we got that. Like,
Yeah, and basically she rewrote it so that all of her friends couldn't see the Lain that we're used to seeing and could see her, and that's how she basically was pushing against the Lain that we knew. And then on the whole thing about her desk being missing, she, I don't know if it was the Wired Lain or what, but basically somehow Lane's entire existence was just thrown out at that point, pretty much.
I find it weird that they kind of brought up a plot point right there, though, like with the whole splitting into two, and then it's just now none.
Yeah, it's because they resolved that whole thing. She split into two, and then they had the confrontation between the two of them, where Lain and Lain are talking, and Lane's pretty.
Was that after that one? Between them?
Well, I'm pretty sure there was some sort of
I thought the
confrontation.
whole
There was a
fight between them was right before that moment.
Yeah, it was. It was right before.
It was right before that moment.
Yeah.
Well, regardless, I mean, I felt like they didn't really need to go further with that. Like, the reason. Okay, oh wait, okay, yes, this is what I. Sorry, my thought process just ordered itself here. Basically, because the Lain we know is mad because the other Lain is basically taking over for her temporarily. As far as I could understand, I don't know whether it was consciously or unconsciously. I'm pretty sure the Lain that we know erased her entire existence in order to thwart the other Lain. I'm not sure if that's entirely the reason. Something like that happened. Maybe it wasn't specifically to thwart her, but there was.
She did. It was definitely unconscious because
One
she
of
was
the-
surprised when people didn't see her.
One of the Lanes had motivation to. I have trouble keeping track of the lanes. But one of the Lanes had motivation to basically erase herself from existence in the physical world.
And the reason she was
exists
mad was
purely as
actually
an
because
entity.
the other Lane was making her look bad. She was like spreading secrets to people and shit.
Yeah.
But that was before the whole splitting moment too.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a
So,
question?
yeah.
Exactly.
Yes.
It got really complicated though after that.
Okay.
Yes.
So, if I was to ask you who the protagonist and who the antagonist of the piece is, and if I define the protagonist as the character that drives the story forward, or the character that if you pull it out of the story, there is no story. For instance, like in the story of Hercules, if you pull Hercules out of the story,
Oh,
there
that's
is no
Lain. It's
story.
Lain.
Yeah.
It's
So
Lain.
who's the
They
protagonist and
Actually,
antagonist?
that's Lain because there's a
Lain-
literal part
Lane
where
and then Lane.
there's Lain because there's a literal part where there's a literal part where at the end she basically removes herself from the story and everything that happens does not happen.
Yeah, she
It's
kind of
weird.
undoes things.
Basically, she does exactly what you said, Jay, in a very
Basically-
literal way.
Basically, the first.
So
The start of episode 13, I'm pretty sure this is what happens at the start of episode 13, is it's basically a quick, like, half episode, a little less than half episode, sequence of images.
no, that's 12.
That's 12? Where they do that? Okay. Episode 12, it's a sequence of images of all the characters we've seen so far in the show in context of a world where Lain, our protagonist, doesn't exist. And they basically go through that. Episode 11, in the beginning of it, it's a series of images of
Okay,
recap.
no, then it's 12
Yeah.
and 13. 12
No,
and 13. my bad.
11 and 13.
Yeah.
11 is a series
So
of
I
recap
got the
images.
two. I got the two
Yeah.
things because I thought you were talking about the recap and not
Yeah, recap is 11.
the. And then the one where
13
she literally is removed from the story is 13.
Is 13, yeah. Because
All right. Here's my question, Dawson. Can you explain the moment when Lane walks into her friend's room, but she has the body of the alien?
Okay, that's part of the Protocol 7 consciousness.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure what happened there, because she has the moment with the alien where the alien looks into her room. I have no idea why that was there, to be completely honest here.
No, what made it even weirder is they were explaining Area 51 at the time. In the weird, like the narrator was explaining Area 51 and how aliens crashed into the world.
Maybe that
and how
has
the government was
something
trying
to
to cover
do
it
with
up and shit.
if people are aware of this supposed crash in Roswell.
Yeah, Roswell.
Roswell.
Maybe it's like the paranoia
everybody's
taking form.
thinking about it, and
Okay.
because everyone's minds are now connected,
They could see aliens.
Yeah, basically they can see aliens, and because Lain is somehow extremely important to this in the same way that other god character who's not a god that we meet is also very central to this whole thing.
Mhm.
Because the two of them are so centrally connected to this, all those, like, the general consciousness of everybody thinking about aliens projected an alien into Lane's room. And then I'm assuming the reason Lain took on that form from the neck down of the alien is one, because that's kind of how Erisu was I'm pretty sure Erisu started to see her as
an alien,
more alien and separate from the previous Lain she knew.
So
basically, it was a projection of how Erisu has started to see her, and also Lain being in a supple and malleable form.
So here's the thing
doesn't
about this show is that there's millions of interpretations on how you take it.
Yeah, you can interpret it however you want.
From where you're going, that's your interpretation.
This is how I see it.
From my interpretation is from not only, like, it's not fully from other people what they said, but like taking pieces
of what different people have
say, taking from our conversation here. And so from what I was reading up on is that there's actually 3 lanes, because that's what I was saying. There's 3 lanes. There's the Lain that we know, who's the shy, introverted one that we're first introduced to. There's the crazy Lain, which is basically the not crazy, but the wild Lain, which is the separate, which is the basically
original.
The polar opposite of Lain, who's not shy and introverted, who's extroverted, talks to people, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then there's the third Lain, which is the evil Lain, which we see in episode 8, and is the one who is and in my opinion is the one who is spreading the rumor.
Huh.
So the 3 lanes, there's 3 lanes.
I always assumed
those are separate.
I always assumed the
it's a 3-lane highway.
Fuck off, Jay.
I always assumed the the rumor spreading lane was a further iteration of the wild Lain.
So the reason why I say the rumor spreading is because somebody's interpretation, which I actually, after reading it, is like that made sense to me. So which is why I'm taking pieces of it. So the original Lain is the one that we see in the beginning.
Yeah.
She is the one who is the created AI, which we will get to eventually.
Yeah.
The artificial intelligence Lain that was first created there.
Yeah.
Then the second Lain is the one in the Wired, and that's come out because of her time on the net, and that's because it's kind of how when we go onto the internet we have a separate persona. Separate persona than we are there.
Wasn't she part of the net before Lain ever touched it though?
Lain was originally part of the net before
because
she had a physical body.
Because of the AI thing. And then she was given a physical body, but then that one is the embodiment of her alternate personality. And the problem is the Lain that we know has multiple personality disorders, shown by the one where she was able to switch on and off from the lanes when she encounters the Men in Black. Yeah. And so basically there's the shy introverted one and the extroverted one, and those 2 lanes are the ones that are in the that are her in the story and in her own multiple personality disorder.
You guys are making me like this show less now.
Yeah, thanks. No, that's what we're trying to do.
Anyway.
Then the third Lain is the one created by the Knights, is the more malevolent one, the evil Lain, which is actively using to create a bad image for this god that people took up to be Lain.
Huh.
Because the Knights don't see Lain as a god.
Lain's a god?
In a way.
Oh,
It depends on how you define God. They do a whole
If you
episode on
define
this.
God as a
being that is everywhere.
omnipotent figure within a certain realm,
Is she a
that has
singularity?
worshippers,
No, she's just connecting herself to the entirety of all consciousness.
she is an omnipotent being present within the wired, which is the internet, that has followers who worship her as a god. And if that is the definition of a god to you, then yes, she
Also,
is
the
a
internet
god.
isn't just like the kind of internet that would be on our computers. It's like all the
Originally
light
it
waves.
was.
It's all the light waves and sound waves and everything that's just kind of flowing through the air.
Mass Effect 3?
So, the thing about that's the third lane. That's what I was talking about, and that's you could tell the difference because each one are different. Where there's the shy lane, who is the introverted one. There's the wild lane, who is much more forward but not evil, and then there's the one who is outright evil with the different faces, which is the one who actively was trying to hurt the original lane's credibility, reputation, stuff like that. And the part where they face off is the part where it's the evil lane created by the knights and that original lane facing off together. And the part with the empty classroom is another thing that I've taken out from another piece of work, where basically the thing about Lain is that she doesn't like to be alone. She doesn't like loneliness, and so that is her personification in her head about the loneliness of emptiness of no one remembering her, and that's what her thoughts about the matter are, of her coming to class and them just not acknowledging her.
So these are all taking things as in a less literal sense, and as that a lot of this is within Lane's head.
Yes.
Okay.
Because there are moments where I believe there are things that are in her head. There are times where I feel like she's rewound the clock back.
Yeah.
And then there are times where it's actually just there. Because I think there is times where she rewinds the clock back, where she talks to Arisu. I'm not saying Alice. Arisu. Arisu. And she says to Arisu, hey, there are millions of versions of you. And that's her rewinding the clock back to figure out the best way to come about this outcome.
On the quote-unquote original Lain, is she the one who's talking to normal Lain at the very end? When they're like talking about like whether or not they should exist and have a body? Or do you think that's the evil Lain again?
No, that's the wild Lain,
okay.
And then the introverted Lain.
Cool, because
those are the two lanes going there.
This is interesting because I always took it as two lanes, and the wild lane and the evil lane
were the same one.
It's just as people's opinion of the wired lane changes, she also changes.
Mm-hmm.
So as people's opinion of her become more and more like misinterpreted, and the word isn't coming to me right now, but basically broken apart, it changes from the wild lane into the evil lane.
Oh, and if things weren't complex enough, there's a subplot about using children's energy to make a psychic
Oh, we're not talking about that. Anyway,
WMD.
Speaking of, if you're listening to this and you've watched or read Index, a lot of this works the same way as AIM diffusion fields.
Yeah, or
it's a little different.
There's also stuff in VLR and stuff like that I could also draw from. Yeah. But the thing about the reason why is that there are moments where Wired Lane talks, and that's not at the same way as Evil Lane talks. There's the way that the person who did a write-up on this actually says is that you can tell which version of it is and how the voice actor portrays the voice. And Evil Lane has a completely different enunciation and tone compared to Wired Lane.
I just want to call her Bitchy Lane. She didn't seem that wild. Or were you just saying wired the whole time? I thought you said wild. Okay.
But, I mean...
I think she's more bitchy than wild. Like, no. she's just always really snappy at people who try to talk to her.
There's main lane, evil lane, and wild lane. And evil and wild lane are both wired lane.
Yes, wired lane. But the thing is, where they come from is different. Because in the interpretations that I was reading and which I've taken from, is that the wired lane is the one that she has created herself and has just kind of... grown throughout the wired net.
Yeah.
Through experiences, through people talking about it, through all that stuff. While the evil lane is another AI created by the Knights to create a more worse image of Lain.
You have no idea after watching Lain how refreshing Divine Gate was.
Oh,
Like, 'cause
yeah.
I felt smart, and I was like, yes.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about
Because
that.
Lain made me feel really dumb. But Divine Gate made me feel like a fucking genius.
Divine Gate. Crunchyroll
We'll
keeps
talk
saying I
about-
need to watch that.
We'll take it. We'll talk
end
about
up
that.
talking about
We're gonna
that.
sell it to you, Jay.
Oh, good.
You mentioned something recently I almost wanted to talk about, Connor. What was it?
Does it have to do with Lain?
Yeah.
Okay.
Collective consciousness.
Oh, the child WMD.
Yes.
WMD.
That whole
Oh, did you get a Bloodborne kind of aesthetic from that, where she's just talking to the old guy on this patio, and he's
Yeah.
sitting in a chair, and he's just looking up, and you're just sitting there talking.
It's like, this is all a nightmare.
This is all a nightmare.
Just
like,
go kill a few beasts. It's good for you.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
okay,
If you jump down
honestly,
the water down there, there's
more
like this
than
weird
anything
spider
else-
you can fight if you want.
More than anything
the part
else.
where the guy takes the invisible gun and just starts shooting at the children, I went, what the fuck's going on? Okay,
And
okay.
he actually shot someone. That was so weird.
Yeah,
We're not gonna talk-
that's just showing the breakdown of the
connection between
the connection between the real world and the wired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The steady crumbling.
Yes.
But that whole thing with them using kids for energy.
That's Index.
Dude, I swear to God, I was suddenly watching a railgun arc.
Yeah,
like,
no,
appear out of nowhere.
I felt that. I felt like I was
I
watching something like that.
It's
Yeah.
also supposed to be
that- for
based in
that-
reality versus Railgun. I don't
For
know.
that brief period of time, I was like, damn, was
I'm-
Kamachi really inspired by Lain? And then as I watched more, I was like, no, probably not. But but for a bit, I was questioning the origin
At a
of
point
his
where
thought
I saw the
process.
Bloodborne part, I was like, did Miyazaki get really inspired by
And the
Lain?
answer is probably.
Because like,
No, I'm just kidding.
because the thing is
That's
like,
more.
that's more likely because Miyazaki's storytelling is as complicated as Lane's storytelling.
No, Miyazaki just steals random things from people and just throws
Like
it in there.
But,
Mostly Berserk.
No, dude, he just makes the
so-
entire
okay.
story item descriptions.
Okay.
Also, this is not the anime Miyazaki. This is the
Oh yeah,
Soul
we're talking
series.
about Soul Series Miyazaki,
So-
not
Okay,
Whatever
let's
his face is
start to
in.
wrap this up, but I want to create one more discussion from this,
Oh jeez.
which is the big one. Is what is your interpretation of Lane? Was she a human the whole time? Was she an AI? Was she just a child used in some experiment beforehand? Is she just crazy?
I take things as the most literal thing, so everything that the show said about her is true. Done.
So she's an AI.
I am
She's
terrible at like
basically-
overanalyzing this shit.
so basically.
me and
you
Dawson,
see
me and
her
Dawson
as
are
an
the
AI.
flagships right here. Just like
She was like this god who, because of like how close the internet and the real world were getting, and how much people thought the internet was overpowered back in the day, basically had godlike control and can just insert herself into reality whenever she felt like it.
no,
But she needed to come over her inner demons first before she could like.
because the thing is, so she was created into an AI, and then she was trying to abandon the physical world, but then when
She didn't want to abandon the physical world.
she kind of did.
No, like only at the very end, out of like desperation, did she do that.
No, she never abandoned the physical world. She kept her physical form.
What's
she
his-
did for a while.
that
That's why
dude-
she never grew up.
Deus.
No, but
was,
that-
Deus
that's-
was really into abandoning physical forms. Lane wasn't.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, she was trying to decide on whether to abandon her physical form or not, and to create the collective consciousness that is what they're originally trying to create.
Yeah.
But because of Arisu's intervention, she decided that physical form should be still in, and then she was able to remove the collective
But she
consciousness.
totally removed
and rewrote
herself
the
from
time.
everyone.
But she removed herself because that was the ultimate sacrifice. By sacrificing herself, she was able to create peace on the world without the collective consciousness. And because she did that, but the thing is, she wanted
It wasn't
to still...
really a collective consciousness, though. We've been calling it that, but I feel like it's not actually a collective consciousness.
It's a phrase that I'm
It's just
using.
like an interconnected system that connects people's brains, but they're not sharing a consciousness. They're like,
It's not a hive mind. is what
yeah,
he's saying.
basically
It's not Rick's girlfriend.
collective consciousness. Yeah, sounds like a hive mind.
It's a universal connection.
Yeah,
It's not the enemies from Ender's Game's mind.
But yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so
Lots of things have hive minds. This doesn't.
Some people have also argued that this is about Lain going insane and having computer addiction and like avoiding the real world because of her computer addiction and shit like that.
I would say that if it wasn't for that last episode, but
Yeah, that could have been metaphorical. All right.
Could have
Let's
been.
move
Alright.
on from this
No.
before I feel like depressed and want to like.
All
kill
right.
myself
So
for
Jay,
being
I have a
stupid.
question for you. Would you ever watch this show?
You know, again, assuming I had all the things that I mentioned before,
Previously mentioned.
I would also need 1 bottle of scotch, and about 3 glasses,
And 1 bourbon and 1.
Why 3?
because I would probably sucker some other people into watching it with me.
Big bag of ice.
God damn it!
Good
I
to
could
go.
see I could see it. You just dragging me in there and be like, "Come on, watch it again."
Into
And
the
be like-
cave, we're doing
And
this.
then the other person's Bowen.
Oh my god, that would be great.
And that's you like tempting Bowen with some Naruto stuff, and then like him coming in. And
You walk in the room, you throw it away, and like lock the door.
Just like tie everyone to the seats. All right, guys, I've auto-played them. We're all gonna
No,
be.
no, you do a Clockwork Orange where you tie everyone to the seat, and then you have the little clamps on the eyes to keep them open.
Oh, that's mean. Oh, that's mean. But you're allowed to drink copious amounts of scotch.
Yeah.
Because we've got like the.
One hand is free.
We got like the.
Dude, they would all kill themselves though. They just drink enough to like.
But you're wearing like the beer hat, right? With a pre-mixed like scotch and something, or you could probably do that.
You've like measured
No, it's
their,
just
their
straight
body weights
scotch.
so they don't
Straight
kill them.
scotch.
Just straight scotch.
All right.
Not even on the rocks. It's just
It's just straight, and you're sitting there for, let's see, if it's 13 episodes times.
It's 5 hours.
So I'd be there for 5 hours drinking scotch, watching. Oh, that would be.
Because here's the thing,
Ugh.
we would at least have to. We could skip the ED, but we have to keep going through that OP because.
Dude, you need the OP to reset that series. Present time. Dude, I swear to God, that sounds like Johnny Youngbosh.
No, did you?
I mean, it's
they
not
start every
obviously.
episode on that except the last episode when they end on that. Ooh.
No, did they put that in the middle?
They put it in the middle,
Oh, whatever. fine.
Yeah, in the middle of the episode, it's present day, present time.
but that's part of the plot
Yeah.
Oh,
because
God.
it's supposed to be bringing. This is supposed to be a vision of the future.
See, this is one of those that I would watch on accident one day at like 3 in the morning and be like, hey, I remember this show that we talked about once. Maybe I should watch the first episode.
Hey, you try it and you're like, what the hell?
And then you get to a point where you're like, you watch the first episode, have no idea what's going on, and then you click next.
Well, it depends. It depends. Is it like that show where I watched the first episode and I'm like, this is kind of interesting, and then I watch the second
Sounds good.
episode, and then you reach episode 7 and everything goes downhill from there.
See, no, the
You're
thing
in the
about
dark.
Lain is you'll watch the first episode, be like, oh, this will be interesting. They'll probably explain all this stuff
Opposite
later,
zero.
and then you'll watch the second 3 or like the next 3 episode. Oh, maybe they'll explain next episode. Then you'll watch like 4 more. Oh, maybe they'll explain at the very end. I don't know.
Oh,
It gets
oh
a
wait,
little bit
wait. You're talking about White Album too, you asshole.
Well, I would never make a White Album 2 reference, ever.
That would not
That would
happen.
not happen ever.
That took me a minute. I was like, wait a second. Episode 7. Oh god.
Absolute duo fell at about the same time.
Yeah. 7's where I just realized just how bad it was.
Yeah.
Right around when they went to that
Oh
island.
my god, the island
I
arc.
love-
Ugh.
Okay, I love the fact that every
Bad.
time I get you two on the call, somehow it comes back to Absolute Duo.
Dude, there's a certain camaraderie
There is.
over having
yeah,
suffered through this.
But here's the thing: no one joins me on my
just glad I lasted
camaraderie when
longer
I
before
watch
making
all
a
of
mistake,
Lance and
so.
Mask and Comet
Dude,
Lucifer.
because this just happened. Like,
Yeah, because I thought it
Somehow
was
we
gonna
both
be
watched.
good. I thought it was gonna be
I
good.
swear to God, it was going to be.
One day,
I was like, this will
one
be
day,
fun.
Somebody is gonna watch Comet Lucifer and be like, dude, what were we thinking?
Just together, you shake.
Because
your
here's the
heads.
thing. Here's the thing. Around episode set, it was the opposite effect of Comet Lucifer, where it starts off really good, but immediately like goes downhill the minute dancing vegetables take place, and then you get to episode 7 when it gets into Metal Gear, and you immediately go, this is really cool. But wait, this is only one character, and then keep shooting back to the other characters, and then it's like, I want to see the cool shit, and then that X character dies, and then all of a sudden it just drops down.
I think in a 12-episode anime, episode 7 is very important.
Dude, episode 8, I think is 7 and 8. It's gonna be either one of
Because
those.
it's the
'Cause
start. It's the
episode
start of the
8
second arc.
Yeah. Well, depends.
Actually, that's probably true. In Demon King Daimyo, I'm pretty sure 7 was the Sea Slug episode.
Episode 8 is like in
I
Hibeki.
love
That's
everyone's
like
a
my
good sandbag, though.
single favorite.
We're never gonna talk about Demon
Episode.
King Daimyo again.
We talked about it once. That was quite enough.
What was it? I remember it got really intense in My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu, Season 2, Episode
Yes,
7.
agreed.
Was 8 the genuine?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's genuine.
Genuine?
Don't worry about it, Connor. But anyway, before we start tangenting off even farther, give Lain a rating between 1 to 10.
I thought we were supposed to do that before the
No, we do that the recommendation, and then this is the rating. 1 to 10, go.
Despite all I've said, I'm giving it a 6.
Wow. I just remember all the animes I've showed Dawson, and he gave a 6 too now. No, I'm just kidding.
Have I done that?
Yes.
For sure you gave Midori Days and Demon King, and never mind. I would give this a 7 because I enjoyed it, and there's people who like it a lot more than I do, and I don't know. I don't think I can give it any worse than a 7.
I'd say 6.5.
They gave a decent amount of effort into it.
I'd say 6.5.
A lot more effort than.
Which
I'm
goes
honestly
down.
really surprised I'm not rating it further lower, but I think it's because we were able to have such a good discussion about it that
Yeah.
I felt like if it's that conducive to
A discussion.
a decent discussion
Because
like
it's
that,
one
I
of those-
can't rate
There's a
it
couple
super
times
low.
I know in the future we'll just sit down and have a different discussion about a different aspect of the show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna laugh at one day Dawson's just like, dude, Lain was actually really great.
But here's the thing.
Okay, no,
No.
I would start to think Lain is really great, and then I'd go to watch it again, and I'd
And
be like,
then-
oh my
yeah.
god.
No, that's the problem. Where again,
I just think it's
the minute
really
I walked away from
badly
the show.
executed.
The minute I walked away from the show, I always went, "Oh God, I have to go walk back to the show."
Yeah,
And
the ideas are cool, but I find it very poorly executed.
yeah, and I think
That's my personal opinion.
yeah, I agree with you
And
because
because of-
I like the underlying themes. So, just making sure. But yes, so
So I got a
moving
6,
on.
a 6.5, and a 7. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Jay, rate this show.
I give it 3 scotches.
Got
Three
it.
3 scotches out of how many?
Well, depends
Have a full
on
bottle.
how many I can have.
So moving on. This is again a tangent section, and this is where we get to have a little bit more decompressed fun.
About what?
I don't know about other shit that we watched. So
I watched a lot of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, 'cause-
Andrew showed me a lot of those.
Oh, it's a great show. Oh, speaking of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is a great show, fantastic. Dawson,
Oh,
the
It's
persona
Always
for-
Sunny in Inaba?
It's Always Sunny in Inaba. Yu Narukami accidentally throws Ai Abihara into the TV.
What?
Somebody made It's Always Sunny. Jay, you kind of would get some of these. So somebody made It's Always Sunny in Inaba, which is basically somebody made title cards with the names of the persona characters
Yeah.
in a wacky situation that would happen
Huh.
in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Huh.
Basically, it's Always Sunny title cards referencing Persona 4 jokes.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
It's pretty funny. There's some good stuff in there.
So what anime should I watch, guys? Like I've got
Whoa,
options.
that's coming. That's coming
One
up.
Punch.
That's coming up. We'll talk
God
to
damn
you.
it, Connor.
We'll talk about it
One
later.
Punch Man, it's so
But
fucking
One
good.
Punch
right now,
Man.
so
It's my baby. One Punch
So, yeah.
Man and Berserk are like
so
the two
yeah,
things I
Jay,
will
you should
always
watch
talk about.
One Punch Man if you want to laugh. Like, if you want something funny and you want to laugh, watch One Punch Man.
If you want something funny and terrible, watch Divine Gate.
But we'll get to that. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. That's the end. You keep saying it. It's
Are
the
we
end.
doing manga section
Yes,
after that or before
um,
that?
You'll always go last because you always have what's it called? You're always the last person to go because of your manga section.
Yeah.
And then we'll have our actual manga corner, and then we'll go into our weeklies.
Okay.
So
Oh, Jay, have you watched Erased yet?
Erase. I heard it's
No.
pretty good, but I haven't seen it.
yes.
Everyone recommends that, so...
that I will actually
get
give
on
a
that.
recommendation for
So,
before
Like,
Uh,
and I
we
mean
do
everyone, not
jokes.
just us, like
So,
the internet in general.
Jay, before
Just-
me and Dawson go off on our little long tangents about what we did with our time, Jay, talk to us about an anime that you've seen that you've been bringing up.
Right. Okay. Well, I've watched 2 recently. I watched. Okay. I'm gonna start with the first one. Here's the deal.
Wait, the one that you watched with the flying people, save that to the weekly.
Okay. Because that one's. I've got some
yes.
good commentary on that one. I watched The Devil is a Part-Timer.
Hell yeah.
And, it was probably about 1 in the morning, like all good times to pick and start watching an anime.
Of course.
And,
At least it's not 2.
And I was sitting there and I said, well, what should I watch? And then this thing about the devil being a part-timer at McDonald's came up, or sorry, McRonald's. And
Oh yes, we can't
McDonald's-
infringe on copyright.
yeah, I don't want to get us in trouble. So,
I think McDonald's is the most used one.
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
I like McDonald's.
McRonald's has a nice ring to it. So I wound up watching this, and it wound up being the most entertaining thing I've seen in a while. If you watch it high, you're gonna crave some food. If you watch it drunk, you're gonna giggle incessantly the entire episode. I did neither of those things. I actually watched it completely sober. And I really like the whole arc they created. I'm sad that they didn't make a second season. I feel like it's definitely an anime worth a second season.
It needs a second.
I don't think they're definitely not going to give it one, but I enjoyed the ending that they put. It was up for interpretation to a certain extent, but I thought they bookended it fairly well.
Yeah. I mean, they did the best they could, seeing as it was highly incomplete at that moment.
Thing I've ever seen. Sorry, not talking about the anime.
Jay, did you just disappear?
I'm here. No, I'm still here.
Oh, you're here?
I'm
okay,
here.
Cool. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's in my top 5 comedies for sure.
I really enjoyed it. It's such a great take on kind of a cool idea, and they said, well, how would this look from the devil's perspective coming to Earth? And I think that's really what I enjoyed about it.
Yeah, it steadily got better too.
It did.
The first episode, I was like, okay, this is
also he's like an ancient medieval devil, isn't he? He's not like the
actual devil.
Yeah.
He's not the devil from.
He's not our devil.
Yeah.
He's the devil from basically the.
He's basically he's like
devil.
the main character from Overlord came to our world.
No, that's way too far off.
It's like he's the last boss in an MMO.
Or in a way that an
he's
anime
the
would
final
portray
raid
an
boss in an MMO, and he comes to our world, basically, and he gets randomly transported there for no reason.
There's some great comedy moments in there that
all the characters are hilarious.
They're all entertaining.
Well done.
Because they all kind of have a little bit of their own original spin to the way that they are as people, which is really fun. I think if anyone watches it and hasn't seen it, they will at least enjoy it to some extent.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard not to.
I'll take a look at it one day in my life. But right now it isn't the time.
Yeah, it's just good when you want a really funny 12-episode comedy.
And it actually gets better. Like there's some great, hilarious second half of the anime episodes that are really
yeah. The second half is definitely where it picks up.
Jay, you should really watch Working.
Working? Yeah, I've heard about that one. I might actually give that one a watch at some point soon.
It's one of those animes that get better over time.
Yeah, it's a bit slow.
It starts off really slow, but when you hit like second, third season, it starts to hit its stride really well.
Let's see.
But so is that all you've watched besides that other anime that you've talked to me about?
Yeah, I've got some funny commentary about that one. Let me see.
We're excited. About that.
What else? I actually that's a lie. I have watched something else.
If it's Fate Stay Night, you've brought that up every single time.
No, we're not talking about Fate Stay Night, even though I totally have watched it. And you know what? Most people.
I watched that too.
You watched Fate Zero.
I like.
No,
I watched Zero.
I've
watched Fate Stay
Night. I liked Zero.
I watched Zero.
Oh, I watched
the original Fate Stay Night. Did you watch Unlimited DreamWorks or
to be fair,
Bladeworks.
I haven't watched the original Fate Stay Night. I
watched the original.
I have the visual novel.
Which one is?
You have the visual novel?
I do. I liked Unlimited Blade Works. Now, granted, I watched Unlimited Blade Works without knowing anything about the series, and I understood what was going on. And then if you watch Fate Zero right after you watch Unlimited Blade Works, you'll get a lot of feelings, is probably the best word to use. You'll be like, oh my god, this is actually really intense. And even though inevitably you know how Fate Zero is going to end, you enjoy watching the story of how it got there.
But anyway, what's that other thing that you watch that's not Fate Stay Night?
Right. So I always make this mistake at about 3 a.m. of clicking a random anime that Crunchyroll says you should watch, and then I watch it. So I watched
And-
Myriad Colors Phantom World.
No, Jay, we'll get to that. We'll
you've
get
seen
to that.
it?
Because that's weekly. That's a weekly.
Oh, good. I've seen that one. And then the other ones that I've watched are actually weekly, so I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Can you just tell us what weeklies did you watch?
I'm currently watching Myriad Colors, Gate,
Okay.
and Ayakona, or...
Okay. Got
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Okay.
Good to know.
Cool.
Okay, we'll get to
God,
that
we're
in
gonna
about like
re-spark an
23
argument,
minutes.
aren't we?
Oh, we will. So now from my turn, because Dawson should be last because he has his manga corner.
Yeah.
Um,
I only have 2 manga for manga corner
So
this week.
I've told Connor this, and I told Dawson and Jay that I will be mentioning this here. I did a thing this week. That's the best way to start that off. It started off. Oh, we're gonna actually talk about that too. So this is gonna be a different conversation also before we get into that.
Okay.
So earlier this week, I'm sitting there on my tablet, sitting in one of my classes, and it's just review for the midterm. So I was just kind of like zoning in and out of stuff I already knew, and I was trying to figure out what a manga I should read because I already finished Noragami. So I was
Yeah.
like, what do I read? I don't know what to read, and so
Rosario Vampire.
I was going through Reddit, and I went through all of Reddit and finished all of that. I was like, okay, I still have like another 40 minutes in this class. What do I do? And I scroll down and I go to my manga app, and I click on the first manga. I read the first chapter, and I go, oh man, that was really good. And I skip to like chapter 30, and I start reading it from there. And I'm like, wow, this manga is really, really
Wait, you
good.
just skipped the...
Huh?
I'll get to that. I went into chapter 30, and I was like, wow, this is really good. I forgot how good this was. And-
God damn it, Andrew.
And Dawson is now hand in his head, knowing exactly what I was talking about.
So guess that anime or manga.
Guess who's reading Air Gear?
No,
It's not Air Gear?
It's not Air Gear.
God
It's
damn.
worse.
It's worse than Air Gear?
So Jay, what do you think I picked up? And I skipped the first 30 chapters to get to some good parts to
You
it.
know, there's some demons lurking in my closet, and I certainly hope it's none of my demons.
It's just take a guess.
Everyone's
Take a
collective
guess.
demon.
Take a guess, Jay.
Are you reading Love Hina?
No.
Okay, good.
What
Good.
would you possibly read chapter
No, dude,
one
he
and
said it was good.
I don't know.
So what could you possibly watch or read one chapter of and then skip straight to chapter 30?
Well, it's something he's already read before.
It's something I've already read before, and I
See, if it was Negima, you'd have to skip to 70.
Yeah,
Also, you probably have watched this rather than
yeah.
read it.
You've watched this, Jay. You've watched a lot of this.
I've watched it
Yes.
and I didn't like it.
No, you like
Oh,
it.
I did like it.
You
Well,
like
you're
it a
gonna like
lot.
it
You like it
now.
a lot, Jay.
I like.
We've had conversations about this.
Oh my god! Did you watch? Was it? Oh god, what would it have been?
I can't give a hint, but
And I've given like 6 good hints for Jay at least.
I'm just really surprised it's not Air Gear.
Uh,
that's my one thing.
and
right
I
now.
liked
Really?
it.
Yeah,
Really,
you
my
like
only
it,
hint
Jay.
Is you're overthinking the shit out
Yeah,
of
you're
this.
overthinking this, Jay.
Code Geass?
No, that's not. I was reading a manga.
I can't see you rereading Shokugeki.
No, it's not Shokugeki.
Yeah.
Clan
Oh my
Ad?
god, this is great.
No, that's not a
And
manga.
I didn't even like Code Geass that much.
Screw Kogias.
No, Jay, you've only
Literally anyone
watched
could
this.
guess this.
Anyone could guess this.
Naruto?
Literally anyone.
Yes.
Oh, no wonder I didn't get this.
I skipped
There's
a
no
meet.
reason my mind would ever think of Naruto.
I started at chapter 1, read chapter 1, then I skipped all the way to the Chunin exams.
Connor, I'm sorry I brought up Code Geass because now it just brought up a certain level of PTSD for me. Or wait,
That's
oh,
me.
you don't like
That's
Code
Dawson.
Geass?
I don't like it.
Oh.
Connor hasn't seen Code Geass, and I hope he never watches it.
Oh.
Because that's one less person in this world that's seen Code
So-
Geass.
Oh wait, Dawson,
so-
you and I have talked about Code Geass before, haven't we?
How much?
Yeah.
We have.
So
We have.
We
indeed.
have.
moving away from Code Geass hate, moving
Well,
away.
because it would come back.
Yeah.
It's like when you're around Mario and he starts talking about Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
We're just like,
but
alright,
so
this is
yeah,
a lot.
Jay,
We've heard it all already.
I've decided to take upon the momentous task of reading all of Naruto.
Why?
There's so many better things you could read.
I need it.
That's all I have to say about this.
here's the
Dawson,
thing.
you can't even talk. You've never seen or read this.
So
So
here's
long.
here's the reason why.
So is
Well,
I
so
mean,
is
you
One
haven't
Piece.
read One Piece
Yeah, but
either.
but he's actually contemplating reading One
Oh,
Piece.
I am never reading One Piece.
One
That
day.
shit's so long.
It's so much.
Dado,
better,
you're gonna miss
but
out on the best arc in Naruto, the Bikochu Beetle arc.
I'm not watching it.
What?
Shut up, Jay. Shut
You're
up,
gonna miss
Jay.
the.
That's probably an anime only arc.
It's
too.
anime only. Filler.
It's the best arc in Naruto.
So, okay. So here was what happened, right? The issue here is the Let's Players I watch have started to play Naruto. And I watch as I go,
Oh, that's why you're
no,
reading.
no, that's not the
Okay.
main reason. That's not the main reason. And I go, oh, funny. I look at all this Naruto shit. And the thing is, they've spent years making fun of Naruto. I've spent years making fun of Naruto as well. And then what happened is, I'm a very frequent user of their Reddit. And over the past couple weeks since that Let's Play started, Naruto images started popping up all over the place, to the point that every day there's at least 5 posts about Naruto. And the thing is, I went, I'm not going to get back into Naruto. No, I'm not going to get back into Naruto. And then what happened is, Mario goes, hey, who wants to watch Boruto the movie? And I went, no, I'm not going to watch that.
No.
And I laughed. And then Connor went to go watch it. Then Connor went to go sat down and watch it. And I went, wow, I feel left out. So I sat down.
There's 2 Connors here.
Yeah, so you guys know there's 2 Connors.
So I sat down and decided to watch Boruto the movie with them. And we watched it. And we had a lot to say, which we will talk about in a minute, me and Connor. And Connor and I have a lot to talk about.
That's where you're gonna correct his grammar.
Dude, it's hard to. There was a nice break in the conversation. Usually, it just keeps going.
So-
you can't get to it.
So the thing is, we were watching Boruto, and I went, "Oh my god, this is actually pretty cool." No, stop it. And then then we're sitting there, and then Connor just decides to put on, because we were watching cool fight scenes. He decides to put on the Sasuke rescue arc,
No.
and we're watching the
No.
Sasuke rescue arc,
Dude, the Sound 4 fight is the best. I love it.
and we're watching the Sound 4 fight, and I'm watching all this cool ninja stuff, and I'm just like, I don't want to get back in it. And then I was really bored, so I started rereading it.
You could watch the Sasuke retrieval arc and get the content for the next 600 episodes, because that's all they
No.
reference for the next 600 episodes.
No, but here's the problem, Jay. Here's the problem. I stopped at that. And the problem is there's a whole part 2 that I'm missing from Naruto that I just don't
Yeah, the
know.
Bikochu Beetle arc.
No, I'm missing the whole pain fight. I'm missing the part where, like, they do the war. We were asking Mario all these
Dude,
questions.
the
about
war
Naruto.
is garbage.
The war is garbage. But the thing is, I need to know. Because for some reason...
Why?
Do you really?
Why do you need to know?
Do you
I
really?
really want to read
So-
Boruto the manga when that
So
comes
here's
out.
here's the summary. Basically, they do some stuff. They do some ninja fights. Naruto kind of wins and stuff, and then that's the end.
See, that's all I need to know. Thank you,
Yeah.
Jay. Now I never have to read or watch Naruto.
There you
Dude,
go.
I've seen pieces of the pain arc. It's really
The
fun.
pain
I
arc's
don't know.
cool, but
Jay, you like Naruto, so
I do like Naruto. But I am blatantly honest when I say, "Oh man, it tanked really hard." Oh God.
But I need to see that.
No,
train
you
wreck.
don't want to see the train wreck. Save yourself the
I just didn't
time.
watch Shippuden.
Huh?
I just didn't watch Shippuden, and I was like,
But the thing
The
is,
first part of
I
Shippuden.
need
is
the
kinda-
context. I wanna.
I didn't like their new teammates.
Mm.
For some reason, I watched Boruto the movie and went, I want to read Boruto. This is making me want to read Boruto.
See, but you could
Because
read
it's-
Boruto without actually reading any of the other stuff, because Naruto wins.
Just be like all those people who are
Oh,
reading
God.
Yukio Holder without reading Negima.
Oh,
No.
everyone's like, oh, Boruto, they don't have like the original writer or something like that, but that'll make it interesting. I'm like, no, dude, I watched the movie. I hated that Boruto movie. Like,
Really?
no, it was interesting to a point, but when Boruto fucks up,
Okay,
instead of giving
let's
him
open
any,
this up. Spoilers for the Boruto movie.
instead of giving
I
this
don't
fucker
care
any
so
punishment
much
for cheating the entire tuning exam, they go, hey, come with us and help us save your dad. You get to be like the main hero of this little arc thing, and like, yeah, they're like, we'll kind of like carry for you, and then we'll let you get in the last hit and be the hero, instead of like punishing him for being a little shit.
I mean, Naruto got punished a lot.
But he doesn't get punished. He doesn't get punished. That's the one thing I don't like about the Boruto movie. But I want to see the dynamic between Boruto and Salada and the third teammate, which is Orochimaru's son.
Okay, here's another complaint. Why the fuck is Orochimaru allowed in the village?
There's
a good question.
Jay, you know about the epilogue of Naruto,
I
right?
know a lot about the Naruto epilogue.
Okay, so you know that the third teammate for Boruto and Salada is Orochimaru's son.
Yeah, that was inevitable, I suppose. I mean, Naruto should have stayed dead in terms of they should have just ended it and left it.
Yeah.
No, but here's the thing. The thing is, I liked young Naruto. And then when they went to Shippuden, it kind of
No,
fell
but see,
off.
the thing is, Boruto
fact
can't
is-
be young Naruto. He can't.
No,
because his
but the thing
given
is-
circumstances as a character are completely different than Naruto's.
No, I know, but the thing is, he's a little shit, and I want to watch Salada do stuff, and I want to see the conversation, and I want to see like Naruto's daughter be a badass.
I just don't want to watch a little jerk. Because Naruto was never really a jerk. He had a reason why he was acting out.
Yeah.
And
No, but here's the thing. Naruto's son does not want to be Hokage.
Yeah, but he's still a little spoiled shit.
No, the whole thing is his dad works too much, so he's just like, Dad's not here.
Boruto's so dumb. Oh, we'll start him off with a fucking Rasengan. That's great.
oh Jesus.
Like,
But the thing is, the problem is
it's like they're starting at Shippuden. That's why I don't want to watch it. That's what it feels like to me. Yeah.
Because I feel like it's starting like it's gonna go back to
Boruto-
original.
No, it is not grungy down to earth Naruto anymore. It is Super Saiyans firing giant fireballs at each other Naruto now.
But Boruto is to try and attract a younger audience group, because most of the group who's currently watching Naruto is pretty sick of Naruto at this point.
So they want to get on. They want to get in on the new hotness that is Boruto.
They gotta try and get the young ones into something. They're trying to do what like Yu-Gi-Oh does. They do a reboot every generation.
Okay, no. Here's the reason.
Motorcycles and playing cards.
Here's the thing about Boruto is like, did you hear about that chapter about Himimara, the daughter of Naruto, being a complete badass?
No, I don't. I've kind of stayed away from it because I just want to let it be over and just not.
Okay.
He wants it dead.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing about
Because if I
chapter,
ignore it,
right?
it goes away.
So when Naruto gets awarded the title,
make that really hard.
So when Naruto gets awarded the title of Hokage, he's about to go to this, the celebration where he goes up on top of the building and like announces to the whole village that he's Hokage, and they give him the hat, right?
Ah, yes, the hat.
So the thing is, on the day that it was his inauguration ceremony, Hinata goes ahead to go finish up the preparations, and Naruto has to bring Boruto and Himimara to the thing. And the problem is that Himimara wants to bring her stuffed rabbit, but Boruto goes, no, that's too kiddish for this event, and has like a little fight with her, and basically like they're pulling on the rabbit, and the rabbit's head comes off. This activates Himimara's what is it? What's Neji's thing?
Byakugan.
Byakugan.
Byakugan. She uses the Byakugan and basically uses a technique that took Neji years to master.
Another reason I hate this shit.
I can agree with that.
And basically punched Naruto in the balls so hard that he passed out for the rest of the day, and he couldn't go to his inauguration ceremony.
Dude,
and
that's the same shit that's happening with like the new Star Wars movie when it's like, what's her name, Rey can just do the power that like, what was it, Luke couldn't do until Obi-Wan straight up taught him, like the mind control shit. It's like, oh, I didn't know this was a thing, but I'm gonna learn to do it. Alright, sorry. No more Star Wars talk.
And so Boruto goes to hide in a closet, and then instead of immediately finding him with the Byakugan, she proceeds to stalk around the house just to fuck with him and try to pretend that she's about to find
I
him.
hope you realize this sounds really dumb.
Oh man,
It's
it's
so
so
dumb.
dumb enough that I want to read it and understand the context.
See, you have to understand, Andrew loves JoJo, so no. When you say dumb, he says hype.
When you say dumb, I go yes. Give me this dumb
Yeah,
stuff.
but see, I'm the kind of person where sometimes I like watching things that people don't recommend, like Code Geass, but,
What?
Only I don't
No.
recommend Code
I thought
Geass.
everyone recommends Code Geass.
Dawson doesn't recommend Code Geass.
But my buddy Bowen actually specifically said, absolutely no, don't watch Code Geass. And Dado said, oh, absolutely watch Code Geass. And I said, well, look, everyone is so divisive on whether they like it or not, so you know what I should do? Watch Code Geass. And then episode 14 happened, and then it was all downhill.
But
You
dude,
realized it was a bad
Yeah.
decision.
For me, it's
But-
usually, does everyone say
okay.
this is a good thing, and is it not Full Metal Alchemist? And then sure, I'll watch it.
okay, so here's the thing. I don't know how long this will last because I was reading Naruto last night and then I was like, this is pretty cool stuff, but I'm not like too into it. It might just be something I pass the time with. So it might be years until I finally catch up with Naruto again. But
Naruto's not that hard to catch up with. Naruto won, some dudes died, and it's over.
they made Anko fat. That pissed me off.
Pissed me off too, dude. Like I said, waifu. Oh, that was my first waifu.
Oh boy.
I don't know. There's some things in Naruto that I'm like, I need the context to
But
this.
Naruto hasn't come up with an original twist in a
Oh,
long
yeah.
time.
Again, since the pain
Yeah,
arc. No.
they haven't come up with like a legitimate twist to the story to like, because the audience gets ahead of them, right? If I'm watching Naruto, I'm already at the end of the episode because I know how it's gonna end. And that's the problem. Like, I'm able to get so far ahead of the episode in Naruto, I can know exactly what the events are gonna be, what's gonna happen, and how.
Even in the
until
Bikocho
a
Beetle
girl
arc.
pops out of Madara or whatever.
Yeah, hey, the Mikochu Beetle arc, nobody expected Naruto to fart on it, so there was that.
Jay, would you be happy with me reading Naruto if I just watched the Bikocho
Oh,
Beetle
if you
arc
watch
once?
that arc, I would watch it with you. It was the worst thing, but the greatest thing that ever happened in cinematic television.
Jay, I can't tell if you like that, like, ironically, or you actually
I
like it.
have this deep, utter disgust for it, but because I hate it so much, it is my favorite thing. Because I remembered watching this as a kid with no alcohol, because I was a child, and sitting there watching this arc take place week by week, mind you. You know, week by week, and all of a sudden we get to the end, they found the beetle. Maybe they'll find Sasuke now, and then Naruto farts.
Oh my
On
god,
the
I remember
bug.
the context of
He
this.
farts
Yeah.
on the beetle that has taken literally probably 25 episodes of them wasting time, energy, and resources and fighting a bunch of super evil bad guys for no apparent reason to get this bug. And they get the bug, and then he just turns around and boom, lays an atomic bomb on this bug. And then the last bit of the arc, we see everyone chasing Naruto through the village trying to kill him because he farted on the bug.
Dawson's losing.
This is so dumb.
This is the real
that's the
plot of this arc, guys. This is the
But
real
here's the
thing.
That's not canon because it didn't actually happen.
But this is why it's my favorite of all of them, because it's so
This arc
ridiculous.
was, this arc was let's make 25 episodes worth of money without wasting our
Hey,
story.
how about that one time where one of Naruto's shadow clones goes like, "Hey, we should revolt against
Oh
Naruto
my god.
and become the real
So,
Naruto"?
for those of you that like Shippuden and you like comedy, there's one arc in Shippuden that actually goes back to the comedy gold of the original Naruto series, and that is not the fillers, the boat fillers. They must have specifically had this one guy write all the fillers while Naruto's on the boat with Yamato and Might Guy, because those episodes are the funniest thing in Shippuden. Like, the dumbest things happen to them while they're on the boat. One time they eat mushrooms and they lose their shit. Another episode they make port somewhere and just start doing all sorts of stupid stuff at the port. And then another episode gets really weird, and Naruto has like this fifth sense that his shadow clone is like trying to like revolt against him. It's pretty hilarious. It's
Do you remember the arc when they were trying to figure out what's under Kakashi's mask?
oh my god.
That one was great.
Just like, what's under his mask?
That was the most anti-climax in the universe.
Because in the end,
It's another mask.
Under this mask is
Another
another mask.
Dawson is just sitting there, just.
Well, okay, that I've seen done quite a few times.
Yeah.
Like somebody with a mask is like, "What's under the mask?" It's always gonna be another mask.
So
And
no,
then there's another one where,
so-
do you remember the ones where like the guys come in disguised as Rock Lee and Guy,
oh my god.
and they're like
Yeah.
spies on the village?
And they're the worst
And they-
spies ever.
Yeah.
Like they
Oh my god, we could spend hours talking about shitty Naruto.
But I actually like the stupid funny filler because it goes back to like the old school Naruto that I liked. And
Oh yeah, which reminds me. So I heard the filler currently is basically they're all put into a dream and they're all going through each person's dream and what they're dreaming about.
I heard that's what's going on, yeah.
Because
That is the worst part of Dragon Age Origins.
Oh my
And the
god,
thing is-
that was the worst. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Apparently in the manga, that was one panel.
One panel,
Yeah, one panel.
and now they're gonna make it a 25 episode arc.
A whole year. A whole year.
Oh, that's just.
It's like the way I've explained it is it's like you're watching Gurren Lagann, and when you get to the end where they like
Grow
where they all go into
galaxies.
that dream. No,
Oh.
not that part. When the anti-spirals put them into the dream world.
Oh, yeah, that was a little
You
weird.
spend an episode per each person and what they're doing in their dream world.
Just to follow up with what I was saying, there's a mod, and it's one of the most popular mods that literally just takes that out of the game. Like, you just skip that section. People hate dream sequences.
Okay.
Okay, anyways.
Fallout
Okay.
actually had a cool dream sequence, if nothing else.
Oh, the black and white game thing
The 4 one? I kind of like that.
in Fallout 3.
Oh, I didn't like it in 3.
Yeah, I didn't like it in
4's.
So anyway, let's
like
move on.
fours.
Let's move on from
Dude,
Naruto.
Oblivion had a great
Naruto?
Speaking of,
So Dawson, talk to us about your manga corner. Go to
Oh,
your corner. And
I
talk
have
about manga.
2 anime to talk about, and then 2 manga to talk about.
Okay.
wow, that's small for Dawson.
I know, right? It's surprising. I'm busy. Basically, Connor was with me, and I've been watching Nichijou, which I'm really enjoying. Things as soon as I hit the second half, things really started to pick up. Like it went from occasional funny moments and just generally me enjoying the well done animation and the creativity of it, into now I'm like actually really into it. And I was actually surprised. I wouldn't think you would. I mean, I don't know how much you were enjoying it or not, but
It was just stupid comedy.
it seemed like you were
It
somewhat
was,
into
it was kind of Bakura test. That's why I enjoyed
Get a
it.
test.
Yeah.
Dude, was there a meter on how many jokes per second there was?
See, that's the one thing it doesn't do.
Okay.
Bakura test, you need to keep a running meter of jokes per second, because
But
that's.
it kept having jokes.
But
it
it
was just,
could- yeah.
It wasn't like.
It's
it
not,
continuously has jokes, but
it's
it's a
not
little
to the
slower
level.
with its jokes.
It's not to the level of Bucket to Test where you're literally like missing jokes because there's too many.
I've yet to see anything that quite hits the same jokes per second
But
meter
it
as
was
Bakura
not
test.
as boring as Dengashi Kashi.
Unfortunately, there's
Not
one
even
anime that I
close.
could think about which has a jokes per second meter, but the problem is with Bucket to Test where like 90% hit,
Yeah.
this one 10% hit.
Ooh.
And that's Negima Neo.
Ooh, yeah. No.
Dude,
No.
but Negima Neo was the most trippy shit I've ever seen. Well, okay, we just watched Lain. Never mind.
Yeah.
I can't even say that about anything anymore, man.
'Cause you've watched
Lain will
this.
forever be the trippiest shit I've ever watched now. And I mean, like, even compared to Space Dandy's episodes, like...
So Dawson,
But yes,
Nichijou.
Nichijou's great. I'm
was
really
cute.
enjoying it. I was really sad I had to stop watching Nichijou to watch Lain.
you're gonna repeat that again.
I know.
You're
I'm gonna be
doubling
like, yeah, I
down.
can finally watch Nichijou again, and I'm
It's
gonna
like
have
Jay,
something else
it's like
to
Jay
watch.
pulling out another White Album 2 reference.
I mean, I wouldn't
Yeah.
know anything about White Album 2.
All I wanted to do was slap the little girl and say, let her take out her damn key out of the back. I don't know.
Dude, that's never gonna happen. Maybe it will.
It is
I don't
so
know.
annoying how much they reference, like, this one girl wanting, like, she's like, oh, I have...
Nana really wants her.
There's
key
this robot
gone.
that has, like, this giant, like, wind-up key in her back, you know? And she's like, "Yo, can you get this out of my back? It's super uncomfortable and it makes me feel weird."
Professor's
And
just always like, nope, it's cute.
or like she'll troll and go, "Maybe," and then like just drop
Honestly,
it.
she just wants snacks. And it's like, that's Hakase. Yeah. Nichizo's great. I watched a movie with Connor that is not the Connor sitting next to me recently,
Oh.
Forest of the Fireflies, and I really enjoyed that. That was
Oh
good.
well, we watched a movie with Connor without you. So.
Yeah, we actually did that. Wait, I totally forgot about that. We watched the Inverted movie.
Oh yeah,
A
I
movie
heard about
people
that.
who have like opposite gravities.
Yeah, so that was really good visually, but really not terrible story wise.
The
But
villain was god awful.
yeah.
It's like literally, it's just him prancing around going, "Ooh, look how evil and douchey I am."
He's
the whole
basically
time.
a racist that goes really too far with his racism.
Yeah, it's like
That racists tend to do that.
he's
Yeah,
not
but-
a deep character at
No,
all.
no, but when
Like
the
he just
other,
wants to be a
no,
shithead.
the
in
problem is he's the dictator of this society, right?
So he's Hitler.
But the thing is, everyone looks at him going, "You're crazy,"
Everyone's just like, this guy's an asshole.
and no one understands why they follow him, but they still follow him. To the point, there's a moment where they go, "Put her on the bed on the ceiling," and since she has opposite gravity, she has to lay on like on a bed on a glass ceiling, so like she could always look up to the sky and know, "I'm gonna die if I like fly up into that direction," and like even his like henchmen are like, "Are you fucking serious?" They look at each other like, why are we doing this?
He has a dick, and he doesn't have a reason. I've tried to figure out the reason for it, but he just hates people and he wants to be an
He's
asshole.
just generally an asshole.
But
Indeed.
yeah. So what's this movie? Grave of the Fireflies.
Not Grave of the Fireflies. That's
Grave of the Fireflies.
It's not Grave of the Fireflies. That Grave of the Fireflies is like too many tears for me.
So Dawson,
haven't
tell us
watched
about
it,
Grave of the Fireflies.
But Forest of Fireflies was really good.
Fucking hell.
It was like a nice little. That may not be the exact name for it. It's something like Forest of the Fireflies. It was good though. It was a relaxing 45-minute movie
Cry.
about Fireflies didn't cry.
No, I'm making it.
Oh.
Never mind.
Oh, you were talking about Grave of the Fireflies?
No, I
Fireflies
was
in
making
the
a
sky.
fucking when the cicadas cry joke.
Oh, When They Cry.
That's not the real. Never mind.
Isn't that the
No,
literal translation
It's
for?
when the cicadas cry. I'm
Huh.
pretty sure.
Okay, keep going.
I always
Sorry.
heard it. I don't know. But yeah, it was good. It was like a little love story focusing on loss and how people can't be with other people sometimes.
So 5 centimeters per
Yeah, I was
second.
about
It
to
was
say.
way
Oh my
different
God,
than 5
that's such a
centimeters.
sad thing.
No,
Oh.
it's 5 centimeters per second is sometimes you're just never gonna see someone again,
Yeah.
and you're not gonna be able to forget it. This is like sometimes loving someone is gonna end up hurting them, and yeah, it was really enjoyable. It's only 45 minutes.
So what's the
It's
manga
relaxing.
you read?
Manga I read. I'm gonna quickly mention S Study. It's a manhwa that's like super ecchi that I just read because occasionally I read super ecchi things to pass the time, and I don't have a lot to say about that besides there was a lot of sex, and
Oh, have fun.
yeah, it was enjoyable, but pretty bad, really bad. The other thing I read though, I was really excited about this one. Seishun Pop. The story itself isn't the best. It's basically, you know how a lot of people really like wearing headphones and they feel more comfortable wearing headphones and not wearing. Basically, that you take the idea of the. It's like this isn't a huge thing. I'm making this into a huge thing, and it's not that big a
No,
thing
it's
in the
just-
story.
I was remembering two things. The first thing that popped up to my head is don't make a reference to One Punch Man. And then the second was I remember when Andrew kept giving me shit about wearing headphones. Like
Yeah,
when I first
it's
got
weird.
these.
Saying this, I was
wear
like,
headphones.
shit, Connor wears headphones a lot.
I do it.
But
I do it.
basically, it's like high school kid that's really into music and always wears his headphones. And he's like walking around with his headphones on, and he goes to a concert for this band he really likes.
He's still wearing his headphones?
Dude, he always wears his headphones.
Motherfucker.
No, he stops. It's part of his
Oh wait,
progression.
what's the name of this? I think I've heard of this.
Seishun Pop?
I think I've heard of this.
Yeah. The coolest part about this manga is not the story, it's that every chapter name is the name of a song. So, what I started doing a couple chapters in is I pulled up a list of all the songs that I got from some guy on the internet, and I would listen to the song for each chapter while I read the chapter, and that was like a really sweet experience because every single chapter, it's got throughout the chapter in a couple different places, it'll throw in lyrics from the song, not like as what characters are saying, just kind of in the background, and like every song that they chose goes with what's happening in the story. So one, I was listening to Sweet J Rock that I hadn't been introduced to before, which was awesome. So I'm basically listening to that, reading this manga about this dude.
Can I just say I do
what's
the
going
same
on?
thing when I do some Fallout quests.
Oh, where you?
Whenever they give you like the name of a song, I was like, oh, is that a real song? I don't know.
It's like I'm gonna
the
go
name of
listen to
quest.
that. Yeah, exactly. Like it was really cool. It was almost like it's a completely different experience than anything I've had before. Because even though sometimes I'll like listen to music while I read stuff, I've never specifically been given songs that like they want you to read or think would be relevant. So that was extremely enjoyable. And
Also,
the story is basically, yeah, he goes to this high school dude, he goes to a concert, and the main singer on stage from his favorite band like stops in the middle of the concert, walks into the crowd, and goes over and gives him a hug. And she's like, "Hey, I've been looking for you."
what?
I just
What?
read that summary
Yeah,
right now as you were saying it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's literally the summary of it.
Why is their band called Incest?
The band is called Incest.
No!
So slight
The
spoiler.
only reason I saw that is because in the description, the one word in full caps is
Yeah.
incest.
That's because the band's title is in full caps. Incest.
Should I be concerned about
also, well, judging
The answer is yes.
slightly. I mean, this is a spoiler for like the second chapter, so it's fine. The girl who comes off stage and hugs him, who's the band's main lead
Oh, no.
singer,
Is his
is
sister.
his sister.
No!
Yes, I fucking called it. I just guessed. I guessed.
that? I knew it.
But
Aw.
to be completely honest, it's an okay manga. It's an okay manga. I don't want to spoil this right out, but there's a character who changes from one dere form into another dere form,
Oh.
and I don't want to say which one to which one.
Oh,
I'll
shit.
leave that up to your imagination.
Because I like.
Tsundere to yandere, let's go.
But I'm not
'Cause
gonna comment on that.
I like-
but it's pretty.
Because best
It's
girl
interesting.
Richan, it goes from Kudere to Sundere.
Yeah.
Guys, this
it's
this
based-
thing is currently labeled as a drama, ecchi, music, romance school,
All
Oh,
of those
incest?
are
Which-
extremely accurate.
which scares me because I
Why'd you
I have a
yell at
bad
us?
feeling I know where this would go.
It okay.
I'm-
It's not White Album 2, but there are
God damn it.
but there are two girls and a main guy.
Why do you keep making references?
No.
Because Jay is here. We have
But
to constantly say
Also-
this.
I think they do it way better than White
Props to
Album
Andrew
2.
for not just going, bitch please, JoJo references music all the time.
See, my
Because
problem
I
with
wanted to do that too.
I have self-control, Connor.
but JoJo doesn't like give you something to listen to. Like the
the-
character names are bands.
Yeah.
So maybe you could go listen to a band's maybe
So
album.
the long
Like,
Yeah, but some
this
people
gives
don't
you
know
a
all these bands.
specific
Dude,
song for a
you see
specific
Kira,
chapter.
You see Kira and you go, man, I really want to go listen to Killer Queen and Bohemian Rhapsody. No, that's not that. It's Killer Queen and another one bites
I
the
don't know.
dust.
JoJo, it's literally just the character names are like.
Smash
Bands.
It's just
Hey, it helped me learn like some of
Like-
the songs that I totally forgot. Like it helped me
that
find
feels
those
like
songs.
he's making an homage to these musics. This is like literally
Okay,
it
there
shows
is-
you
there is
lyrics
one stand
in the
There
chapters.
is one stand, Bohemian Rhapsody, that I'm 100% sure of. His plot progression of that character who has Bohemian Rhapsody goes to the lyrics of Bohemian Rhapsody, to the point I've read write-ups on somebody actually comparing the two.
So
Yeah.
can I just
See, now you're just making me want to read that.
Part
can I
6.
confirm one thing here? There's
Yeah.
one guy and two girls, and one of the girls is his sister.
Is that a problem for you?
You know, God.
Is the main question.
You know,
here.
it's I have a little bit of PTSD. You know,
What?
White Album 2 is scary, and then Orimo, which I've been forced to watch a
Yeah.
few episodes of, is also scary.
Who forced you?
They're not really related or emo. Mine fucking.
Wait, who
blown.
forced you, Jay? I didn't force
Dono, it was late, and it was also 2 a.m., and we were going through last summer on a bunch of anime. You said, Jay, we're gonna watch one episode of
you. Oh,
Orimo.
no, I did. I did show
And
you.
I was like, no!
No, and we made him watch Shimoneta too.
This works very differently from Orimo.
Okay.
We made you
And
watch
it doesn't-
Shimoneta, right?
Yeah, we did.
And if the incest is really worrying you on this, I can say as much as it's somewhat present, it may not be present in quite the way you think it is.
God damn it, I don't want to read it.
It's there. It's there, but
I feel.
it
dirty
doesn't
even talking about
go
this.
as far as it does in Orimo. It's just different.
Oh, no.
It works very differently.
Okay.
Like it's there, but it should not be related to Orimo. It's
I still think my favorite thing that you guys forced me to watch was that one episode of Shimoneta where I was turned on my screen sharing, and it was the one where she like ties him up on the floor and blindfolds him.
Yeah.
yeah.
that image has never. I've tried to get rid of it, and it still haunts me a little bit because it was so.
My question for you is: have you watched Prison School?
I have not watched Prison School.
You should read Prison School.
Oh God.
Prison School will give you nightmares.
Okay. So
I
moving
felt
on.
pretty dirty after reading Prison
Moving
School,
on.
to be honest.
Moving on. Before we get into Prison School, Dawson.
I didn't think we were gonna get into Prison School.
No, he was trying to prevent us.
Oh,
from...
he doesn't want us going there.
Yeah.
I see.
Which is me being the ironic one for us going on like a 10-minute tangent about Naruto.
I know.
Naruto? Naruto?
Yes.
That was what my dad used to call it.
So Dawson, we have some weeklies to talk
Yeah!
Oh, we
I'm
do.
so excited.
Yay!
Weeklies.
No, not that weeklies. We have
Oh.
weekly manga.
First weekly manga, then
it's
weekly.
my favorite part when I can just leave the room and no one will notice.
Read some fucking weeklies.
He's
You
reading My
enjoyed
Hero
it.
Academia.
I read the first chapter. Oh, the buff guy's not really buff. Ooh.
I mean, Dotto, you could
I
read
have no idea.
you
what you're
could read
talking
Rosario
about.
Vampire and
All Might.
cry for 3 days
I don't
about
like
it.
All Might.
But he's talking about All Might.
Oh.
Yeah, but All Might.
All Might's like one of my least favorite
All Might
parts.
disappears after like chapter 40.
Yeah, he hasn't been around for a long time.
He's
Who knows what-
he's sitting in his office
Dude,
pretend like.
speaking of, My Hero Academia is on. I thought it was on
Oh,
point this
we'll
week.
get there. We
Is
have
that not what we're talking about
we
first?
have an order, Dawson.
We have a specific.
We have an order.
What comes first?
UQ holder.
UQ
as
holder?
always, UQ
Okay,
holder.
always UQ holder.
Because that's the one I wanted to talk about the most because of like
It's like
how much went
backwards
down
alphabetical
on that
order.
one. Because
shit, did things go down in UQ holder?
yeah, you don't remember?
What was this chapter?
It was him talking to Evangeline
I
on
just
the
remember
dock.
handing you, like,
Oh, I forgot about this. This ends in a very particular way.
I just remember I give Andrew spoilers on this or something.
He gave me so we're sitting down and he goes, "Hey, UQ spoilers are out," and he hands me his phone and I read it and I go, "Oh God, I can't wait for tomorrow." And I hand him the phone back and I read it and I went, "That's better than I thought."
Yeah,
So
he and Evangeline kissed.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good. But no, okay. So first we're done with the harem
Honestly, I'm just happy she's back in lolly form.
stuff. Only for a brief amount of time.
I know.
Okay,
She'll go back.
But first and
Bad.
foremost, Connor's leaving the room because you said lollies.
You know what? No, Dawson got to do this during Naruto.
Oh yeah, I did just get up and leave when you guys were talking about Naruto.
So first and foremost, harem arc is over.
Harem arc is over.
It's officially over
which-
because Evangeline has literally told him, "You're no longer grounded. You're allowed to leave the island."
Oh, that's why he was there. I forgot about that. I thought he was just on the island.
No, he's grounded.
God, this makes so much. These last like few months make so much more sense now.
He's grounded.
I always just assumed he was like on the island because what's his face? Shit. I'm confused on my mangakas right now.
Ken Akamatsu.
Ken Akamatsu just like wanted him there.
No, he's
I forgot
grounded.
there was an actual reason for him to be there.
He's grounded, and he's
I'm a
actually
little
falling
more
into...
okay with all these previous arcs then.
Yeah, and the only time he's been able to leave is because he was like he like they allowed him to leave.
Yeah.
Because the only reason why he left earlier was out of rebellion, and then now that he's out of the rebellion, he's come back and is actually following the rules until he's allowed to leave.
About that.
And that's why he's been on the island.
Okay, so now he can leave, and he got a kiss, so that was
No,
nice.
but then you didn't. The other lead up to that is that it's the so he's no longer grounded, and then they move on to the part where it's a whole explanation where Evangeline is talking about some things. But basically, the culmination of this chapter is that the thing is, a lot of people are like, no, the ship is going down, but that's not how a lot of other people said it. Is because basically she can't move on until they get Negi back.
Yeah,
or until Negi is
basically,
free.
their relationship is now static until we resolve an arc
It's
around
not that it's more of
Negi.
static. It's that she basically gave like a not an ultimatum, but like a reason why.
Yeah, basically she's like, I'm stuck in this mindset, and I can't.
Because, and the thing is,
Yeah.
she's in love with Negi, which is another big revelation, which should have been obvious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I always just kind of assumed that.
But she's
Wait,
in love.
did she say Negi or Negi?
Negi.
Negi specifically?
Yeah, because
Okay.
dude, this is the most comments we've had on the Yuki Holder chapter. Because so the thing is, it started with Toda.
Yeah.
And then Toda was her first love, and then due to reasons in her the time gaps and stuff like that, Toda disappears.
Yeah. And
Followed
then
by
Nagi.
who it's more of a crush on. And then when she discovers that Nagi was married the whole time, she moves on from those feelings
Yeah.
and falls for Negi. And then when
Did she really move on though? I swear to God, wasn't she like looking? Oh, I guess that's because Nagi was the reason.
Yeah.
She was trapped there.
Yeah.
Huh?
And so she
Okay.
moves on after she finds out that like he was married the whole time.
Oh, did we ever figure out how she got unconnected
Powerful
from
magic,
the school?
probably Negi's.
Okay.
And then Negi, she falls in love with Negi.
Yeah.
And then he gets captured by the Mage of Beginnings, her oldest enemy, and now she has to come back and save Negi, and that's her goal right now.
Is to save him, and then so.
But the thing is, it's still unclear if that ship between Evangeline and Toda is still there, but it still has power.
Yeah. Well,
because
she's not gonna be able to think about things until after Negi is free.
Yes.
There needs to be a fair playing field.
And then it ends with them going like, you don't realize you're the biggest playboy on this island. Do you not realize this? It's super genetic.
Well, yeah, she's like, I guess
super
it's genetic. It's like, yep, we know. We all know.
Yuki Holder on fucking point.
Yeah, Yuki Holder's doing good things. I'm excited for him to be off the island now.
He's off the island. There's reasons. Characters got backstory.
Yeah, basically, we now have I mean, we already had the goal of rescue Negi, but now that's like a serious gonna happen.
It's
soon.
It's the
not soon.
It's the equivalent of Negi looking for Nagi. It's now Toda freeing Negi and Nagi.
Yeah.
It's basically his grandfather's goal got passed down to him.
Yeah.
And now he has to do it. It's the legacy.
Well, his quote unquote grandfather.
Quote unquote grandfather, yes. But yes.
More his original.
The thing is, if the Koromaru arc did not exist in this harem short arc, this arc would be fantastic.
Yeah, I didn't like the Koromaru.
The Kiri arc was fantastic. We got a kiss between Toda and Kiri, and then we got a kiss between Evangeline and Toda.
Yeah.
Like, there you go. Your quota for kisses is now starting to go up.
I mean, we don't have Pactios to do it anymore, so... and we gotta make do somehow.
Okay, so moving on to Yuki Holder.
What else do we got?
Yuki Holder's so good.
Wow.
What happened to Jitsu?
I left and came back, and you were still talking about Yuki Holder.
Dude, I left and came back. You were still talking about Naruto. You talked about Naruto for a lot longer than that.
Jay, that's part of your
Yeah, but that was
fault.
three
Gochu
people
beetle
talking,
arc?
not
Are
two.
we back there again?
No, no need.
Okay, anyway. So then next is
What happened in Jitsuwa?
Jitsuwa. It's the career planning. And
Is
the best reaction
Jitsuwa
faces
still
ever.
going?
No, we read the manga of Jitsuwa.
I mean, is the manga still going?
Dude, yeah, it's still going and it's 10 times better than the anime.
I may have to actually read that one.
I cannot.
Dude, I could send you like screenshots
Thank
of
you.
specific chapters, and it's
Oh,
fantastic.
God.
Okay, so this chapter, right?
Oh, I forget.
This chapter is they got their career planning forms, and they have to figure out what they wanted to do in the future.
I remember
So
now.
Asahi's going around asking all the people what they're gonna do for the future, and it starts off where they all start off with something very simple and actually noble, and then they tell them the real dream, and then he immediately loses it.
Because it's just so off.
So, case in point, he meets with the werewolf, right? You remember the werewolf from Jitsuwa,
yeah.
Jay. And the werewolf goes, I want to go and study and do all these different things and go off to university. And he goes, wow, that's really noble of you. And she goes, yeah, I want to read all these perverted books so that I could become a better pervert, so I could be like my mom. And the minute she
She's
says
literally
that,
going to like pervert school.
she's
by the way.
literally going to pervert college, and he immediately has this the author has this amazing job with the reaction faces. Draws one of the best reaction faces he's had in the series of just Asahi just totally zoning out because he can't believe what he just heard.
She's just like going on talking. Honestly, though, for me, the best part of this chapter is I actually really enjoyed the like last couple pages of interaction between.
Oh yeah, that's great. It's cute.
Shiragami.
It's cute.
And,
it's cute.
Yeah.
But I don't want to spoil that because
Asahi.
Jay should actually read it. Jay reads it. So
Ah, okay, alright, I'll do it.
yay! It's actually really good. You'll enjoy it. Jay, you want something
You
funny,
know,
right?
I just have this fear of reading things about vampires and humans after depression set in after another manga I read.
Honestly, you should read it because
This
you'll
would
get
be
to
like therapy.
you'll be like therapy, and then if it turns to be Rosario plus vampire, you could just pretend that part
Oh,
never
God.
happened, and then just go.
I don't think it's gonna do that though.
Yeah.
I think this will always be this would be therapy.
Oh God!
This is therapy
Have
for
any of
you.
you have any of you read?
No.
Oh my God! One of you needs to. One of you needs to, just so I can.
Jay.
I watched both seasons of it, but I've heard it's absolutely nothing.
That's exact. Yeah,
Like-
it's completely different.
Yeah.
Jay, I'll read it.
The
one
manga's
day,
actually
and then
pretty
I'll
dark.
Tell you about it. I'll tell you about it.
Yeah. That's
But
what I heard
Jay-
the manga was actually good.
Jay, if you want therapy from that, go read Jitsuwa.
Okay.
That's a.
I'll do it.
That's,
I'll read it.
What's the?
It will try to fix you.
It's therapy, Jay.
Oh God.
Okay, next is Shokugeki,
Hey.
which
I don't think I finished reading that chapter, but we can talk about
I
it.
mean, the best one is just that okay, she had a reaction to the thing.
Yeah, basically, Arena's still thinking over what
The thing
Soma said.
Yeah, and
Which
then
is
not only
great.
that, but the purge has started.
Yeah, literally, I figured
purge?
what I took from that is the hunt.
The hunt
Are
begins.
they calling it the hunt?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the survival hunt.
The survivor hunt. Basically, the survivor hunt is beginning, and the
There-
reason it's beginning, and the reason people have a chance is because Ishiki is
Look-
gonna get kicked. Oh wait,
No,
do you
Ishiki-
care about?
No,
Jay.
just
hit me.
be as vague as possible.
Fine.
No, be as vague as possible. But Ishiki basically left some rules in place
Yeah.
to ensure that the hunts would be fair.
That after he leaves, the hunts will be fair towards
Yeah.
everyone.
What is this in?
Shokugeki.
Shokugeki.
And so basically, there was a lot of talk about the rules, and what I've gathered is fair, but it's still
It's still
hard.
rigged against him.
It's still rigged against them if they're gonna go
But
against
they
the
have
laws.
a
They're
shot.
killing people.
It's just
it's
people
an,
Dying in Shokugeki?
no people
It's
getting
expulsion.
people getting expelled.
It's the same
Dude,
old
someone got
stakes.
expelled for having the wrong smelling hair in an episode. I
Yeah.
saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It happens in
The
hotel. Arc.
hotel.
I forget
Camp.
what that one's called.
The camp.
Arc. Yeah.
The summer camp.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
was still finishing that in the anime.
Oh, it gets much
Oh,
better.
that's
Jay.
the section after that's the best part of the anime, because the anime doesn't get to the even better part.
Dark Ages of Cooking.
That is the rest of Election Arc.
Dude, the election is the best.
Election's awesome.
Actually, no, I didn't think election was that great. I thought the Dark Age of Cooking was amazing.
I liked Festival.
I like Dark Age of
God, I
cooking.
remembered how much you were ranting about Phoenix right now. The Dark Age of Law.
Dark Age of Law is the coolest thing ever. Oh my god, there's new
Andrew
news.
likes Dark Ages of Things.
Jesus.
Dude, no, okay, no. The thing about the Dark Age of Law is that there's a period of time where Phoenix does things, and I want to know what Phoenix does.
What
in
show
those
are we
years.
talking about?
No, I'm talking about a game.
Oh.
Well, it's gonna be an anime soon.
It's gonna be an anime. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Gyakugan Saiban. And the thing is, there's been trailers from pachinko machines, and there's a possibility those pachinko machines are using shots from the anime, and if they are, they're gonna get at least to game 2. And if they get to game 2, I will be happy, because there's a possibility they'll get to game 3.
Sweet.
And we're watching that next season, because it's gonna be so good.
Hey.
Okay, anyway.
Speaking of things we're gonna be watching next season,
My Hero
Academia.
Academia. That was Okay, so a lot of people were making the plot point of the thing where he goes from 100% to 1,000,000% is just him elongating the zeros.
Yeah.
And him actually just doing 100% again. I don't believe that. I think he actually went that high.
Actually went full 1,000%.
I think he went 1,000%. No, he went 1,000,000%.
Or 1,000,000%.
He went 1,000,000%. Because the thing is,
he basically one punched.
because the thing is, he hits him with the 100%.
Yeah.
And it doesn't kill him.
Do shit.
It doesn't do shit. And he even says, I need more power. I need to go past 100%.
Yeah.
Which means that he must have went
He went from
past
Detroit Smash to Delaware Detroit Smash.
Okay then. I'm lost.
And that part at the end, like, I was
find
just
that
reading all these
hilarious.
reactions of people just going, dude, I'm crying. Like,
Yeah.
the tears of just like, he's like, why do you do this? So that you could call me your hero. And I'm just like,
You can call me my hero. Hey.
My Hero
This is the
Academia is
first
so
time
good.
we get an actual reference to the title like that.
I'm not gonna
Oh,
lie,
that's
I just
so
put the
good.
slapping in a very specific pattern, and from my side of my side.
Andrew got excited and was clapping pretty happily. Can imagine that sounding.
You
a
know,
little
it sounded
strange,
great.
but- Yeah, My Hero Academia is really hype right now, though. That was a really cool fight. I'm pretty sure he's out of the game now, though, right? Like, he's pretty
the
much.
villain is out of the game.
But I feel like Deku is too.
He's kind of
Because he's pretty messed up from doing
all that
full 1,000,000% or
full
whatever.
1,000,000% Delaware
So you're
Detroit
saying
Smash.
both Triple H and what's his name got thrown out of the ring?
Dean Ambrose?
No, the hero.
Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
but here's the thing.
Dude, Andrew
Deku-
stood up and
Deku's-
fucking yelled. It was great.
Me and Eddie both did, but
when
anyway, continue.
Deku is as much of a
WWE.
glass cannon as Genos.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But I'm excited to
Except
see.
he actually gets things done.
Is Byakuga by himself, or is he with Tomodachi?
I think they're together.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but I feel like they're together.
Because they're targeting him, so hopefully.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, if they kidnap Byakuga, I will really start to dislike it if it goes into Sasuke rescue arc with him. Because I have this level of like for My Hero Academia that I feel if they go into Sasuke rescue arc, it might drop off just a little bit because it's Sasuke rescue arc.
I feel like they're going to. What are they gonna do?
Sound Force.
Because he saved the kid. That was a big thing. I feel like there has to be an aftermath of this.
They're going to do individual fights because I can't wait to see Atsui.
Oh, dude,
and
they're
Uro-
all paired off right now.
Yeah.
Like there's groups dude, I'm just really excited for when we finally get to see the girl fight.
Oh yeah.
Because we're gonna have
Atsui and Uraka.
Yeah. Uraka and Frog Girl are like
Gravity Girl,
together
Gravity
right
Girl
now.
and Frog Girl.
Who knows how they're gonna team up, but it's gonna be cool.
No, but where's
wait, are they
Exor?
gonna fight the girl?
Yeah,
I feel like they're totally gonna fight the girl.
They're gonna
yeah.
fight the girl.
The girl who's currently wearing a Bane mask for some reason.
No, because remember she's like, why am I wearing this stupid mask? It's like, because we have to.
Yeah, but everybody else is wearing like normal masks or something, and she's got like one that looks like Bane's mask. I'm like, why? It's funny, but yeah, that's pretty hype.
Guys, all I want is My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu Season 3.
Yeah,
That's
about
never
that.
gonna happen.
We might get a movie someday.
I just want Berserk.
Actually, believe it or not, there's a guy translating the Last Light novel right now, and he
Oh, is it officially
Yeah,
over?
well, they don't know yet, but there's a guy translating the latest light novel that takes place right after where the anime ends. So I said, well, when you release the third part of that, I'll read all of it and cry alone in a corner.
I'll probably join
Yeah.
you in
I'll
that.
probably join you. We could do a
Because
group
we all
cry.
want to know how it ends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to
It's
know
gonna be
which
rough.
best girl wins.
Well,
so-
neither of them are gonna win.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a everyone loses kind of thing.
Are you sure about that?
I
or-
want loner ending, but I don't think it's gonna.
Okay, wait.
I
Jay,
don't
are
think
you
it's gonna
sure
go
about
loner.
I
that?
don't
Like, you
want
read
a
it,
three-way,
or-
guys. That's what I don't want.
Are you guys okay? Question: are you guys going to make a wager on this?
You know,
No.
I just see. I'm emotionally invested enough in this that I don't want to make a wager on it.
Yeah.
Because there's already enough at stake.
There is.
There's already enough at stake.
Was I the one who got you all to watch it? Was it my fault?
No.
I watched it.
Dawson watched it by
Okay.
himself.
And then I tried to get Connor to watch it, but Connor didn't watch it.
And
Why
then
did you try to get me to watch it? Oh,
Did
no,
I get you to watch it, Dotto?
Why did you try to get me to watch it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
No,
you'd
you
like it
texted
more
me.
than you'd like most.
Slice of Life.
Yeah, at least the first season.
No, I remember what it is. You didn't follow through.
Huh?
You had Andrew follow through. That's why I'm watching Gate.
No, this one.
This wasn't one of the
No.
three. Okay.
I was gonna get you to watch Your Lie in April.
Okay.
Or Nagino,
Or
which
the
you
one
ended
with
up
the retarded
watching
girl.
anyway. Well, yeah, I'm less enchanted with Sakura so as I was when I first watched it.
Mm.
Now I just admire it for taking a shitty light novel and making it decent.
Yeah, I have a very much
That
so
usually doesn't happen.
an emotional investment in seeing how this ends.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
thing about this anime, the thing about this
This
ending
was before summer.
is that the three of us, this is the reason why, like, Origaru is the reason why we're doing this right now, is because of that.
And we had such a
I
good
remember it.
discussion about
I
that.
remember it so well.
I remember recently we were talking about it.
Okay. But anyway, moving on
I know
from
Fort
there,
Jan likes
now we're at weeklies.
Oh, now we're at weeklies?
Now we're at weeklies.
Yeah.
Jay, celebrate.
I feel like
So-
I'm not up on all of
So
No, we
where
actually-
are we gonna start?
We actually are. The only thing that we're missing out on, Dawson, is Princess Stride and Phantom World and whatever came out today.
this. Okay.
But because there's nothing that really comes out on Saturday that's your speed.
Wait, today's Sunday.
Yeah.
Dude, Dimension W's today. I want
And
to watch
IBO, I know, and we're doing this first. But the thing is, there's nothing that comes out on Saturday because that's Utar Mono, which we'll watch together later. BBK BRK, which I watch and I forced Connor to watch, and Utar and Durara, which I watch by myself. And we watched all the anime on Friday. And the only thing that we're missing out on is Princess Stride, Phantom World, Grimgar, and that's all.
Oh, we're missing Grimgar?
Because that's today.
Oh. We
See,
should
Dawson
watch
and I
Grimgar.
both.
We will.
Yeah, Dawson and I are both looking forward to something after this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, moving on, what we're gonna do is we're gonna discuss the new episodes that we watched.
There's a
Because here's the
lot.
thing.
Which
Because
episode was this 3?
yeah, because of the
Oh,
way
2
that
and 3.
because of just three and four.
3 and 4.
Because
Some
the way that
4?
we recorded this, we accidentally overlapped on some of them.
What is 4?
I-
Oh, was this
4 is this
fourth erased?
Yeah, this is the
Or
fourth
was
away. So we missed 3 and 4. We
But I
haven't
feel like
talked.
we've only watched 3 Phantom Worlds.
Yeah,
I feel like it
because
was 2 and
we
3
missed
on
out.
the
on
Oh, you
four.
guys
We
have
didn't
watched
watch
Phantom
four.
World?
Yes, we'll get to that.
Oh,
Jay.
I've seen the first episode.
So let's do this first. We'll talk the ones that Jay has seen, so we can have a discussion about it, and then we'll move on to trying to sell him the other anime of this
Beautiful.
season,
Okay.
as well as discussing what happens in those new episodes.
Yeah.
So let's start off.
Okay, Jay. Before we say anything else, have you heard of Sekko Boys?
No.
Good.
Oh,
yes!
Oh, no.
S-E-K-K-O. Okay.
Okay.
I know the
Jay?
speeds.
That's
Jay,
coming
Not
soon.
look up Sekko
Jay,
Boys.
do not look up
Fine.
Don't
Psycho
look up
Boys
anything about Psycho Boys.
until we talk about it in like 20 minutes.
No. We will not tell him anything. You need to watch the first episode of Sekko Boys when this is over.
You all will be the death of me.
Yeah, we're gonna live react that.
It's like 6 minutes.
It's
Don't
like
worry.
it's 7 minutes, Jay.
Good God. All right. So, there's one anime that I texted
Okay,
Dotto
you start
about.
off with the anime that you. Okay, backstory on this anime is you texted me, "Hey, Devil's a Part-Timer is pretty good," and I went, "That's cool. Hey, this season of anime is not that great."
And then Jay followed up with, so here's the deal. I kind of watched this one random anime, and I should hate it.
No,
Oh.
no, you're wrong with this. It went really? There must be
Oh,
a
yeah.
good one. And I go, yeah, here are the good ones of this
I didn't watch
season.
any of them.
Grimgar, Nijiro Boys, or Nijiro Days, Erased, Konosubarashi, and Dimension W, and you're like, wow, that's a cool list. I'm gonna go watch something that's not any of those 5.
That's exactly what I did. So I have this nasty habit at like 2 in the morning of being on Crunchyroll, and it always ends this way. This is how.
So are we starting with Phantom World or the other one?
I swear it went from 1 in the morning to 3 in the morning, and now 2 in the
I
morning.
don't really remember. It's always somewhere in that range. I'll be honest. So I watched. It's called Aokana, and it's about this Gravity Shoes anime.
The air
Yeah,
one?
it's the Gravity
Yes.
Shoes anime. Now here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing.
Dotson is sitting here with his head in his hands.
You should all hate it. For good reason.
Good.
None of you should watch it. But I'm kind of obsessed with it. You know, there are times in your life when you full-heartedly know that something is awful. You recognize it's awful. You realize nobody else in the world should watch it. But for some reason, you feel this compulsion to watch it.
Kusen Madoshi Kusen.
Okay, wait,
Comet
is
Lucifer,
this something
Ransom Mask.
you enjoy?
Divine Gate, motherfucker.
Is this something
That's
you
a
enjoy
divine
I
watching.
actually enjoy watching this.
Okay.
Okay, then that's
Because
Divine Gate.
this is on the level of Bigata HK for me.
So, have any of you seen this, just for frame of reference?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Andrew and
Okay.
I looked at this,
And
and we
wanted
watched
them
for
to
the
watch
PV for this, and we said there is no way
So
we're
that's
watching
what I
this.
said too.
You said that, and I said I'm gonna put it on my maybe
So-
list. And if another anime is terrible, I'll pick this
See,
up.
Dawson, you said the same thing about the witch in the one that we're watching, the Yu Yu Hakusho one.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh, but that looks kind of interesting. You guys were like, no, we're not gonna watch it. And then Andrew goes, oh, whatever, we'll watch it. And we really liked it.
It's
So
like,
here's the thing, guys.
The thing
See,
is,
we
I
liked it,
watched
so
the
it's good.
PV.
Yeah.
I watched the
Yes.
PV and I said, I'm probably not gonna like this. But you got those of you. Well, let's see. I know Dawson, you know this for sure. Whenever there's a moment where I'm like, you know what, I'm not gonna like this. For some apparent reason, I feel compulsed to watch it anyway. So,
yeah.
sure enough, I watched the first episode and I was like, I'm gonna watch the next one. And then after I watched the next, I was like, I'm gonna watch another one. And then before I knew it, I'd watched all 3 that were out at the time. And you
Yeah.
know, there's actually a really interesting character in it. There's one character that you're kind of like, I find this guy interesting. And I just revealed who it was, I think, probably by process of
the
elimination.
main
But
character.
he's technically not the main character, actually.
The only guy character?
Yeah, pretty
The
much.
harem lead?
So well, there is another guy, but he's like a pretty typical anime guy.
Gay?
Yeah.
So for some reason, there's some interesting elements to this. None of you should watch it for any reason. However, I will continue to watch it weekly, and perhaps after it's over, I'll be able to give you a full, like, should you watch? If any of you are feeling adventurous and are trying to figure out what the hell it is I'm talking about, you guys should watch the first episode. You'll know after the first episode if you would like it or not.
Yeah.
But that was one of the ones I watched. I had a feeling I was the only one watching it. Because I read the concept and I was like, what? There is no way I should watch this, and then I did.
I bet we can beat you for a worst show, though.
Yeah, we could beat you, Jay.
See, yeah, I like this one. I don't know why. There's
Jay, on Reddit, there's still 100+ comments on each discussion thread, which beats out many discussion threads at the moment.
for this one,
Yes.
really. So
Yes,
other people like
'cause
it
Divine
too?
Gate-
Question mark?
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, on the r/anime thread about seasonal anime this season, it was on the consider it list.
okay. I mean, you know,
You're not alone. You're
There's
not
some
alone.
bad stuff this season, dude.
interesting. See, I usually wholeheartedly know when I like something and other people aren't gonna like it, but however, I guess I'm wrong on this one because it seems
Jay,
like People like this
Divine
one.
Gate has less than 100 comments every week.
You know, you guys keep talking about this Divine Gate, but I'll let you try and sell it to me in a minute, I guess. So I assume you guys have also been up to date with Gate, right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
Dawson and Connor have words about that because we got into an argument
We
about
both
this.
all three of us have very differing opinions on this most
This is
recent
the most
episode.
recent episode. So we didn't talk about this. We finally caught up to Gate.
We're finally caught up to Gate. It's
And-
been a couple of weeks in the making.
I really like Gate where it's going and where I like it, except for like these two don't like the most recent episode, but I like the overall.
I didn't say I don't like the episode.
I like the overall arc that it's going to of all these different components, all these pieces doing their own thing to cause a spark of war.
Yeah. I'm just really unhappy about the fact that everybody is harping on you need to get revenge for this girl when I think she has never once made any sort of indication that would help her. Like, it's one thing if she's, like, wheeling for revenge and she really wants revenge, and then you need to help her get it so she can realize that, no, that's not actually what I need to be fulfilled from this moment or what I need to move on, even though one might think it is. Which it seemed to be the point they were trying to get at, which I would understand if they were doing that, but she has nothing to do with this. She doesn't even seem to care about that, and I hate that they're focusing so much on how he needs to get revenge for her when she just doesn't seem to even care or notice. I don't know. It just feels very off to me in a off-putting sort of way and not in a way that they intended.
I totally get that. I totally get that.
So Jay, what's your opinions on the most?
You know, I have a feeling they're gonna try. I get this feeling in about 2 episodes they're gonna explain it to us. Whether I like that explanation or not is, of course, yet to be seen. But I totally get it because we've been really harping on this thing, and I'm trying to figure out if they're. I think they needed an underlying motivation to go kill the dragon, and this is what they came up with from a writing standpoint. They may have been able to come up with something a little better, but nevertheless, this is where we are. We can't change that at this point.
Oh no! Can we get to the moment where the fighter planes are fighting the dragon, and they're like, "It can't hurt us. It kind of hurt us."
It's like, shit, man.
I really like this show. However, I totally agree that this is a little bit of a strange way to bring about bringing the dragon down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't get me wrong, Jay. I think we all like this show in little ways.
I'm hoping that we can get past this by the next episode, because there's other things I'd like to see, so I really hope that they finish this.
There's a part where a bunny girl got shot.
There was that. Yeah. However, I'm hoping we can get to that story really soon, so I'm hoping we kill the dragon, or the dragon goes away, or whatever happens in the next episode.
Well, this is called, from what everyone says about this arc, it's called the Dragon Arc, so it's going to probably end with them taking down the dragon.
But there's so many other things that could be touched on right now. I don't feel like the dragon is the most important thing.
But the dragon's the only legitimate threat right now. I honestly love how funny it is, how incompetent the other people are in relationship to Japan. It's like, oh shit, they might actually have the upper hand now. Because that's what I've been waiting for the whole time. The medieval guys to actually have some sort of power against Japan, and they just never do. And with this whole oh, we're gonna kill one of their citizens, and then everything's gonna turn around. A, they don't even kill the person, and B, fucking fingerprinting is a thing.
Yeah.
So
honestly, I wasn't even expecting that.
I laughed pretty damn hard, honestly.
Where Japan had the clear upper hand.
It became such a non-problem because of fingerprinting.
Yeah, honestly, I really liked how quickly that just became completely obsolete. It's like, oh yeah, this wasn't her. I was expecting them to go into some misunderstanding plotline for a bit or something.
And which would just frustrate us all.
Yeah, which would just frustrate us all, but they're like, no, fingerprinting, this obviously wasn't her. what did you do? And I was like, oh,
They're
this is
beating
so
this
great.
butler up underneath the, like, in this torture room.
It's like, you obviously sold this dude. It's like, how do you know? He's like, look, I fingerprinted it.
No, my favorite part is when they're like, I'm sorry, we didn't know she's spies. You're not going to exile us. Like, why would we do that?
Yeah.
And it's because she was technically a spy for one of their allies, so it's totally fine.
Yeah.
I love the blatantness of this anime to go ahead and kibosh all of the standard things that we expect to happen.
Yeah. It's just like,
It's like, no, we're not
not.
gonna do this cliche misunderstanding business. Let's just get on with it.
Yeah.
I like the tempo. I really do hope that we get the dragon thing finished kind of quickly, but I realize that that's probably not going to happen.
No,
I
but the
agree
thing
with
is,
that.
like, yeah, the dragon thing's going on, but if you've noticed, they don't focus on one story at a time. They focus on 3 or 4 running parallel to each
It's
other.
true. There's a lot of
There's
background
a lot of
stuff
things
happening.
building up, and I have a feeling it's going to be like the last couple episodes of Code Geass, where everything happens in those last few episodes, and we're
Oh, you mean R2?
yeah,
You mean
in R2, where everything
mean-
happens in the last few episodes, and you're
where,
like, whoa.
where it goes, oh,
Okay.
okay, so that's what happened. That's why all of
But
this
I know
is
that
put
this
together
show
two
won't
and
do
two.
what R2 did. So,
Hey, remember when they used an earthquake as a plot device to get them inside the castle?
Oh, that was
That
so
was great.
cool!
Dude, earthquakes never happen there. They just happen to happen this one time.
It's
when
like,
they-
no, we're
No.
from Japan. We're used
No,
to this.
Yeah.
but the thing is, they go into it, see the slave, and immediately go to town on all
Just
of the
light 'em
guards
up.
Yeah,
in
okay,
the
that I was not expecting
just
either.
like,
in
light
the
'em up.
throne room.
Right, the
No,
throne
okay.
room. They're
They
just
didn't
like,
just line him up. They beat up the first guy, and then because like he was like beating a Japanese citizen, they got her back, and then he goes attack them, which is like the stupidest mistake you can make in that world. And then they light him up. But it's like, I don't know. I was like, I dare him to try something. That's all I could think. Or I was saying that out loud. It's like, I fucking dare you to try to
And he
retaliate.
did it!
And he did it.
And they got the repercussion.
that was
Oh.
brutal.
The slave, the head slave undertone storyline is
Oh, yeah.
interesting. How that's gonna.
Because the bunny girl doesn't even like that queen in the first place.
Yeah,
It's weird.
I feel like it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna become relevant at some point. I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, we haven't seen her reaction to the failed assassination.
No,
yet,
we
have
haven't.
No.
Yeah, so I'm excited for when we get that to see
So,
how
like,
she
the
So,
thing
reacts.
Andrew,
is-
I have seen a distinctive lack of rape, and you've been telling me so much.
There was that one part in the beginning.
When?
In, like, the first episode.
I thought we always talked about the fact that there was a lot of that in the manga and the original novels, but not as much in the show.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
there is
But you
that.
kept saying, "Oh, when it gets to this part."
Yeah, no, that's in the first episode where he's, like, straight up raping the bunny girl.
In the first episode?
In season 2.
Oh, in season 2.
Yeah.
That's not though, because she's totally not that kind of character. She makes it seem like it's that way, but it's, I don't know.
I'm
I know,
kind
but
of
for
glad
that-
that that's not in the show because I don't think it needs it.
No, I know, I don't either. I was just,
Which
Andrew
is
kept, like, saying
really
there's gonna
funny
be
because
a-
everyone who actually has, like, read it is like, wow, they're missing up on all this, like, stuff that, like, is important.
Is it really? Like, I get the point of what's happening without including that.
It's part of the politics.
it's most, like, every time you have a book and you translate it to something else, people are gonna get mad because you're missing stuff. No,
Yeah.
it doesn't really.
That's the way it works.
Yeah, and everyone says the adaptation's pretty bad, but whatever. Wait, but it's A1.
That's what
so
everyone says about Udorimono too, but we love that.
Oh man! Oh, can't wait.
Oh god, do we have to watch more of that yet?
Yeah,
There's a new one?
yeah. Yesterday.
Is this the true shark jump that's coming up?
So, Nate, you guys,
I want to go back to the slice of life section.
you guys have seen Phantom Colors as well.
Oh yeah, we've only
Yeah.
watched 3 episodes of that. There
Uh,
was a
I've only
4th
seen the
episode
first
this week.
episode.
It's this studio doesn't do fan service, I swear.
I don't want to talk about this show.
I've only seen the first
Dawson,
episode.
have we given up on the? Have you given up on the show? And should I just start
Oh,
watching
this
by
recent
myself?
episode was fucking garbage.
Dawson,
I
that's my question.
really
for you.
don't want to talk about this show.
Dawson, should I watch this by myself from now
I
on?
don't know.
I'll watch it with you.
Cool.
You know,
Tell me
the first episode when I saw it, I was like, I actually read the synopsis and I thought it might be interesting. And then once I figured out what kind of show I was in for, I was like, oh boy.
Battle Eki Harem?
It's not even a battle Eki Harem. The first episode, they defeat the enemy by having the athletic girl bounce her chest up and down and then pass.
Feel herself
Yeah,
up.
and then.
Honestly, they haven't gone to quite that level since.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since.
It's hard to go quite that level,
Okay,
though.
so, Jay, the second episode's kind of decent, except for the part where there's a girl who literally chants a spell and then goes, ah. And when
That's
I
her
mean,
attack.
I mean, ah.
Yeah, the main problem there is the voice acting.
That's literally the tone of voice that's there.
It's like, it's a 5-second chant. She goes, whatever, like, spirits. And then, like, she has to say that chant every time. And then there's about 10 seconds of her just in the same tone doing that. And it's not quiet or, like, under the music. You can hear the like, super loud.
So, like, are we talking, like, Titus laughing annoying? Or.
No, I mean, like, it's just one tone.
Okay. Because.
It's bad.
It's not that good. And then the third episode,
You didn't even watch.
No, the
quote unquote watch this.
The third episode was the one with they're in the room and the guy kept getting thrown out the window.
Same episode as the
What's that?
Yeah.
Really?
We've only watched 3 episodes of the show.
Are you
Connor.
serious? Okay,
Yeah.
well the third episode was fucking garbage.
The third episode's garbage.
It's filler on episode 3 and it's bad
Filler on episode 3?
Please tell us what happened on this episode.
They're like, oh, I remember this one moment
Dawson
in my
will
life when I
not
met these
talk
2
about
girls,
this.
and then later in the episode
I'll
they
say
meet these 2
something
girl
later.
demons, and they're like, and you go, oh my god, that's totally gonna be the people she saw in the flashback, and lo and behold, that there they were, and that is literally the only plot in this episode. The rest of the episode is, oh, let's try to like go to places together and go on fake dates so that we can like share powers or some shit, even though the power is like how to do karate. It's so dumb. And then Kirby Girl is jealous over something, but they don't specify what. And I'm just it was really bad. There's no point.
The opening's decent.
Yeah, I like the new OP for Gate. That's my favorite. The new OP for Gate's good. I like it.
Divine
that's
Key
pretty
has a good opening.
Divine Gate has a really good opening.
Alright, so try and sell me on this
The Gashi
Divine
Kashi
Gate,
has a
please.
really-
Should I watch?
Okay.
It is memes.
Okay.
Okay.
I will say like one thing about Phantom World.
Oh, before we move
Before
on.
we move on, this is really hard for me because this is my favorite studio who's making this, and most of the time, like, studios make a wide variety of stuff.
Isn't another
And
one
Kyoto
of your favorite
and-
studios making something bad?
PA Works.
I don't care about.
Oh, hey, we're
This
gonna
is
tell-
the only
hey,
studio,
hey,
literally
okay.
the only
Hey,
studio
we're
I care
gonna sell
about.
Jay on Haruka and Chika.
I'm gonna sell Jay against Haruka and Chica.
Okay. So, Kyoto Animation is a studio I really, really like. And on average, they make less shows than most other studios do. And usually their shows are like a step above
They're the
other studios.
as I've heard people say, they're the best damn animating company in Japan right now.
Exactly.
With the only rival being Madhouse.
Yeah. And I really, really like this studio. Some of my favorite shows
Would you say
are
that
from them.
Would you say that even when they fall short, besides this, even when
They fall short, it's still a step above everyone else.
Yes.
Like, Chunbyo Season 2, not that great.
You've not seen
I
it.
haven't seen it, but I know it's not that great.
Oh, it's not that great.
Beyond
I
the
still
Boundary
enjoyed it.
Beyond the Boundary, Kyokai no Kanata is definitely not their best work, but it's still a step above a lot of other things. Tamako Market, not my favorite, but they redeemed it with the movie for it, Tamako Love Story, which was just absolutely amazing. So, I haven't actually shown you guys anything Kyoto Animation, really.
I know Kyoto though.
Yeah, I know you generally know it, but I haven't.
I've seen Haruhi. I've seen Chunbyo, and I know enough of Hibeki.
But mainly, I haven't showed you any of my favorite stuff from this studio.
I'm good.
And
I don't
then
have to
now
watch
the
Free.
first thing we're watching, god damn it. And now the first thing we're watching together by this studio is the worst thing they've done in a long time.
That'd be like if Andrew showed you Love Hina.
It's like
Before he showed you Negi.
Yeah.
No, because that's how you do it. You watch. You go through Love
Because
Hina
you can't
first.
go back to Love
You can't
Hina.
go back. You can't go back.
I mean, yeah. Mainly I'm just sad because the first thing we're watching together by them is something I don't like that much, and it's not that good besides the fact that it's still gorgeous, if nothing else.
Definitely. I mean, I'll
If nothing else,
probably
it's
watch that one,
absolutely
to be honest.
gorgeous.
Like, I know it sounds
But-
ridiculous. I'll probably continue watching this one.
No, I recommended this to a friend, like Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like
he's not watching it.
You watched
Yeah.
this too.
basically, it's just a little sad. And also, I don't want to be one of those fanboys that's defending this when it really doesn't deserve to be defended, which a decent amount of people are still doing.
Oh shit. Sorry. Speaking of fanboys, the new OVA for One Punch came out, so I'm super excited.
Indeed. But yeah, this show, I don't know if I can keep watching because it's making me...
Sad.
It's really hard to watch.
See, here's the thing. Would you rather keep watching it and then understand why it's bad, or have me watch it and tell you each week how bad it is?
I think I'm just going to watch it on my own, not with you guys. Because it'll make
It's
it...
just like Erased.
Okay, Erased I'm only watching by myself because fuck, I can't wait to
No.
watch more of that.
I wait for you, Dawson.
Don't wait for me, just watch it because
No.
I'll just watch it.
No. We're watching
I
it
can't
together.
wait for Erased, dude.
We're watching that together.
This is the first thing in a long time I need more of.
I know. Me
I
too.
literally, when it comes
Me
out,
too.
I need it.
We're watching it on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Okay, can we move on to the best worst show of the season?
Okay, Jay.
I'll let
So
you
it's
guys-
time for us to sell you on
Don't
anime.
tell me,
you guys-
don't
Are you
tell me
ready?
which one's the best and the worst, because you got to sell me on it.
Yeah. No. No, but this is what we're going to tell you is the best
Oh,
worst
good.
of the season. And that's Divine Gate. Connor.
I just-
Wait, Connor, to start
I'd
this
rather
off. Wait,
have
to start this off.
Jay just live watch it.
No.
And listen to his reaction.
No. Okay,
Yeah.
Jay. Connor, would you like to tell Jay what was in this last episode that made us pause it and nearly die of laughter?
So just a random sample
Okay,
really quick.
so Jay.
So there's this misunderstood, super edgy character who we will talk about in a bit. But he's always blamed for all these murders and shit because his asshole brother did it, okay?
Okay.
Well, the most recent of these, where we are introduced to a new character who looks almost exactly like him, and understand this guy has like blonde hair, blue eyes, right? That's just so it's just another dude with blonde hair, blue eyes, but slightly messier hair, right? Which his brother is also blonde hair, blue-eyed dude with slightly messier hair. And what this guy's dad tells him is that his murderer was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed kid, which is what the news says the murderer was like.
And
but
so-
he automatically goes, no, it's this exact guy.
The first thing they do is go, it's the MC.
It's this exact guy. And when you learn what this incident was, it was called Blue Christmas, and how they described it was two armed men killed 666 people in a mall.
What?
And when you see them killing people, it's not like they planned to do 666 people. They were just randomly killing people. So it just
somehow
ended up being 666 people.
Is this an anime?
Yes.
And then it ends with MC getting a robot girl.
Yeah, they introduce this like robot in this episode, and then like the character who's not supposed to have any access to anything somehow brings out the robot. That's never explained. He was supposed to be like a prisoner, but he gets like access to the robot and uses it and tries to fight them, and then he runs away, and now they just have this random robot for some reason. And I can't wait to see what they do with this thing. Okay. But in previous episodes, the reason we even decided to keep watching this show is because there's so much just stupidly hilarious shit that it's not purposely funny.
It's Jay. This is a show that is supposed to be taken seriously. It's a serious show.
And it's gory as hell, but the writing is for 5-year-olds.
And the thing is, it's the writing is basically them writing to those edgy teenagers who think this stuff is cool.
It is great. Want to say the very first line of the series because you remember
Okay, Jay, want to hear the first line that starts off in the series?
Yes.
Pitter patter, pitter patter. The rain falls down on the street. It fills the hole in the street, but it doesn't fill the hole in my heart.
No, it's like that really bad high school theater that's written by high schoolers. Ah.
That's exactly this entire show.
Ah.
And then there's this. Okay, episode 2, best quote. I guess you can't always help the people. No, when you can't save the people you love, that's bad. It came after the other main character, who's less edgy, was yelling at a crippled dad for not climbing up a flaming building to save his son.
Is this?
And then episode 3, we were like, oh, there's nothing really good. No, this is episode 2 still. At the end of episode 2, there's this sort of bad guy seeming character just sitting on his desk, and like some guy in a clown costume walks up behind him, puts a crown on his head, and goes, Merry Christmas.
And that's the only context we get of that entire encounter.
Dude, this sounds awful.
It's
Jay. It's so bad, but you shouldn't watch it. But you should totally watch it.
See, no, that's not fair, because now you know I'm totally gonna watch it.
Divine Gate is the best worst show of this season as long as you don't take it critically, and as long as you just take it and make memes from it, you will enjoy the ever-living hell out of it.
This is just truly terrifying, because now I'm totally gonna watch it.
And here's the thing about this show.
The opening is really good.
The opening's really good, and not only that, but the thing about this show is that it was a mobile game that they made into an anime.
Is that really?
Yes.
That explains a lot of things.
And it possibly has some of the coolest designs I've seen in a bit. In like a hot minute.
Good God. Alright.
Okay.
So that's that.
So we've sold you we've sold you on Divine Gate.
I guess I'll buy Divine
next-
Gate. I'll buy it.
I'll buy that.
I'll buy that.
Okay, so where do we want to start at this? Do we want to start
about a good show now?
because the first one on this list is Erased.
Oh.
Watch Erased. We don't need to tell you more than that. Like,
Okay.
actually, everyone in the world is going to tell you to watch Erased because it's pretty
Jay,
good.
The opening.
this is the one time I will tell you this, and I beg you to please not ignore my like things here, because Dawson and Connor both agree with me. You should watch Erased.
Okay, yeah, alright. I'll buy that one.
Because the thing is, we can't tell you a lot about
And
it.
also One Punch Man.
We can't tell you a lot about it.
You are not the first person to say One Punch Man to me.
This is the first show. Okay. How do I say this? Spring season, last year, Origaru and Hibeki.
Yeah.
These are two shows I really like, and I know how much you also like Origaru.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first show since those two that I have been this excited for on a weekly basis to watch as it comes
Well,
out.
with that being said, I'll buy it. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the initial premise is, I remember telling you asked me about this. Is there hokey space time travel stuff?
Oh,
You've
yeah,
asked
I
me
always
about
have to...
So far,
Okay,
no.
that's good.
And the thing is, there is some of it, but it's not used as a Deus Ex Machina. It's used as a plot device to create the plot.
Mm.
So it's basically it's not as like an all-ending.
And
This
like
is
in
what
these
fixes.
past 3 episodes, they haven't even used it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
just
the-
not a thing.
And the thing is, this is only spoilers for like the first couple minutes of it. But the only hokey space-time magic is that the main character has this ability that when something goes wrong,
Like a disaster
and
happens.
he's in the vicinity of it, basically he will go back in time, like he is forced back in time to a specific moment where he can fix the events.
As far as we can tell, though, he's not stuck in a loop to fix the events. He's just
No,
put,
he said
he is.
he's stuck in a loop.
He is stuck in a loop.
He's
Okay.
basically stuck in a loop to fix the events, and until the events are fixed, he can't progress with time.
Interesting.
That I did not know.
And
But they only use that for the first episode.
and it's only used to the first episode
So far.
because he is shot back in time, and that creates the plot.
Yeah.
That basically starts the show.
And
then it's just
honestly,
like really
that
good
whole
dialogue
first episode
between him and a bunch of kids.
yeah. And the thing is, sitting there, and we're gonna have to slightly discuss this most recent episode, and to be as very unspoilerish as possible.
It's a murder mystery.
Is I spent the entirety of that episode stressed out, knowing that something bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
And it kept going, and bad things weren't happening, and I went, something bad's gonna happen, and then cliffhanger.
Yeah. We dropped right on a cliffhanger.
A1 is knocking this anime out of the park. Because, I mean, the thing is, A1 is amazing with adaptations. They are super faithful to their adaptations. They will take a source material and do it as exactly as that source
Okay, so I should totally watch Erased, is what I'm getting. Okay, all right.
Yes.
If you take nothing else away from this, watch Erased.
that's what Dawson's
And Divine
That's
Gate.
my personal opinion.
And
Is
Divine
if
Gate.
You take nothing else away from this, take away that you should.
So what
watch
I got
Erased.
is Divine Gate is the greatest thing ever, and that's all I should watch ever. Okay, got it.
Jay, can you just we're being
I
serious
will
here, though.
watch Erased. I will watch.
I can tell you, he knows you're being serious. You're overselling it now.
No, I know, but we're kind of discussing it right now.
I know.
Yeah, that is a bit of a problem. I usually try not to be this
Yeah.
over.
But the best way to
hyped
say it
about
is
something
A1 is
when
knocking it out of the
suggesting it.
park this season
Cool.
with Grimgar, Erased, and Gate.
Oh, A1's doing Grimgar too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing Gate, Grimgar, and Erased.
Right after we say A1 is good with adaptions, we talk about
Gate.
We already saw Gate.
I know. No,
yeah,
no,
we already talked about Gate.
but Andrew was saying
Oh, okay.
how they're really good with adaptions.
Yeah, like you know how
and Gate
Kyoto,
they're not doing.
You know how Kyoto Animation is really good with taking their adaptions and changing it almost entirely.
Yeah, I do that with a lot of things.
A1's
They
the
take
opposite. Is they take the anime. The thing is they take mediocre, slightly good, and make something great.
Yeah.
A1 takes something great and makes it just as great.
Yeah.
They won't.
A1 adapts much more known stuff.
Yes.
Like Kyoto Animation, a lot of the times, not always, but a decent amount of the time, they'll take things a lot of people haven't really heard about, or a lot of people haven't heard about, and then make it bigger than the original source material was.
So Erase is really good.
Yeah.
And I
moving on.
can't
But
wait for
Erase
the
is
next
really good.
episode.
Move on.
So next episode, BBK beat RNK. I have not
Let
watched
you
the
guys
last.
talk about this.
Best CG you'll see for a while, actually.
Yeah. So
That's all I have to
Jay,
say
if you
about it.
want to watch something with good CG,
It's not great, but it's like Ruby.
it's possibly one of the best CG things ever. And it has a really interesting story going on with it. The characters are not as strong, but the story is really interesting.
Also, there's this crazy guy with a gun and a fedora who's always fun to watch. Because he's such a cocky asshole.
Yeah,
Jay, you still there?
yeah
Okay.
no, I'm listening. Yeah.
Basically, BBK BRNK, or Bubanki Baranki, is basically the plot is
It's
Is-
Power Rangers but kids.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
In a
Okay.
world where everyone's discriminating against them.
yeah.
I honestly was more excited when it started with like the twins. I was like, oh, this is kind of like a Gravity Falls dynamic. No, the sister's gone for some reason. And
Well, we haven't watched the latest episode, and that last episode ended off on a cliffhanger.
God, and there's such a Blue Ranger character who is always like, oh, give me control. I want to be in charge here, and he's such like a douchey asshole.
But
like,
that's what a Blue Ranger is. I love it. I love it. I love Tokusatsu. Like
I
stuff
don't
like that.
enjoy this show as much. Like, I feel like if I'm in the right mood, I'll watch it.
We'll
but-
watch it tomorrow. Don't worry.
Yeah. If I have homework, I'm not gonna be.
This
skipping
one's a
it for
maybe
this.
with CG, with good CG. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch this one, you can watch it to enjoy the. You can take a look at it and see.
CG.
I see what can be done with CG.
Well, and then if you don't think the CG is good enough, you can watch what's it called? What was the terrible thing we dropped in like half an episode?
Luck and Logic?
No. It's all the copy pasted aliens.
Oh, Schwartz.
Fucking shit.
Oh, we're not
no.
talking about.
We can't talk about Schwartz.
We're never talking
Jay,
about that anime.
if you want something that's truly bad, watch Schwartz.
Don't watch Schwartz. All I can say to you is don't watch.
So I should continue watching Elfenlied, just like that one time I said I was totally gonna watch it.
Dude, you should watch Elfenlied over Shorts.
Oh, it's lead, isn't it?
Lead, yeah.
Elfenlied.
Anyway,
Excuse me.
Dangashi Kashi.
Read the manga instead? Maybe? I don't know what
the
to
opening's
say.
really good.
I don't know what to say about
The
Dengashi Kashi.
Okay,
It bores the shit out of me.
It's really... Dengashi Kashi is really hit and miss with people.
it's really hit or miss,
You either like it or you don't
See.
like
and
it.
I'm
that's-
straight down the middle on this. Jade has one of the most attractive anime girls in anime.
The entire reason I read this manga originally is because of how attractive I found the main girl. Which doesn't happen a lot.
So,
There was one character, I saw
the-
her picture, and I was like, I
The
have to
main
read this.
plot of Dangashi Kashi is this guy and his dad own this
Coconuts.
Coconuts owns this
Coconuts.
small like candy store, right?
His dad does.
His dad does.
His dad owns this candy store. You follow
Yeah, I'm
me?
looking at the synopsis here.
Yeah.
He
And-
wants to be a mangaka.
They literally
Coconuts
talk
wants to
about
be a
snacks the whole episode.
Yeah,
That's
Coconuts
it.
wants to be a mangaka.
That's it.
And this
Yeah,
girl
it
comes
is.
in and goes, "Hey, you should go. Oh my God, did you see the gift from this week's episode? I forgot. Sorry."
Oh my god, it's literally just phallic imagery down people's throats.
Is it
Which
a
episode was this
romance
one?
anime?
No, it's
Well,
I mean, cause I'm into
the
that.
manga's tagged as romance. I haven't
it
been
hasn't
reading
got there yet in the
recently,
manga.
but it's gonna take a long time to get
Oh,
to
God.
romance. So in the anime,
they
you're not
might
gonna get any.
like shoehorn in some
Well, there's two
romance.
girls. There's two girls, Jay.
Oh
There's no
no!
romance.
No!
There's-
Okay,
There is no
two
romance.
girls does not automatically mean White Album 2.
It always ends that way. It's all the
And the
same.
two girls are like
Your
the
mind's
two
been
girls-
corrupted,
the
Jay.
two girls are like his childhood friend, and then this girl who came into town.
Wow,
and trying to
that's
get her
the
happy.
exact same plot. Ah. Oh, one that's a childhood friend, one kind of comes in, one likes him for a long time, the other one just kind of started liking him, and all of a sudden we got a...
No, but here's the thing.
Neither
Here's-
one likes
here-
him.
Hey, no. One
It's
of
not
them.
entirely
no,
true.
One of them likes him.
Really? Who?
And-
Yeah,
To a childhood friend.
yeah.
Yeah.
Childhood friend
And
does.
then the other girl is not the best mentally smart person. Yes! Yes!
Just dropped my ex-girlfriend's name out there. Please forgive me. May want
Jay,
to cut that one
she's-
out.
I want
I am
Andrew
not.
added beeps. She's
Let's...
No, but
Yes.
Jay,
I'm going to hell
Jay.
for that one.
Yeah, you are. Anyway, Jay.
Yeah.
Jay, she is basically like Whitney,
Yeah.
but possibly a little bit more intelligent, but not a lot.
But she's really into snacks.
She's really into snacks, okay?
I don't think she's.
Ah.
I think she's socially dumb.
Okay, because they're, I guess. I don't know. I don't know about this.
I mean, she's pretty dumb, but she's not like cripplingly dumb.
There's these
But-
great pauses in our conversation as we're just reminiscing on the fact I just dropped an ex-girlfriend's name in the middle of a...
No, don't worry, Jay. I'm sitting here laughing in my head about every, like, World War III.
It's alright, Jade. No one will ever get to this part of the video. Not even Andrew, when he's editing, will get to this part of the video.
Yeah, we're about 3 hours in. But yes, she is not the smartest person, but she really likes candy, and basically every episode follows about like one candy and like how to eat it, or like a different way to eat it, or like
and why you
how
should
cool
be
is
hyped
it?
about this
Yeah,
candy.
and why you should like this candy.
And about 5 minutes in, I'm just on my phone, and I'm done.
Yeah, Dengashi Kashi's really. If you watch one of. Honestly, I don't know how I feel about this adaptation.
I think it's a pretty nice adaptation,
Yeah,
and I like the
they're
opening
doing the Jitsuwa thing where they're all over the place with which.
chapter they're doing.
Because it's the same thing as Jitsuwa has, where it every chapter is its own
Yeah.
unique thing that isn't really connected to an overall
Yeah, but
story.
Jitsuwa messed that up.
Yeah, Jitsuwa still messed that up.
Why did they put that chapter?
But this is doing the exact same thing, where a lot of an episode is like a weird amalgamation of a couple different chapters thrown together in different ways.
But yeah, Jay, if you want to watch it, I guess you can. But if not, just watch the opening over and over again.
Yeah, okay.
The opening, once they changed it to be good, is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up is Dimension W, and I think the one spokesperson here is Connor.
This was like the biggest surprise hit for, well, one of the biggest surprise hits for us. Like, the only thing we knew about this is it was made by the person who made Darker Than Black or something like that. Was it the writer?
Director.
The director was the same as Darker Than Black, and we're like, but it's actually a lot of fun. It's like it's like noir. Like, it's not super edgy. There's no like true villain character yet. Everyone's just kind of doing their own thing. It has to do with like bounty hunters and like if you can kind of ignore the techno babble, it's kind of cool. Basically, the world has like infinite energy and these new like batteries, and it's people trying to collect like the illegally made ones. And you just follow this bounty hunter guy who hates machines. It's a bit like iRobot, if you ever watched that.
Yeah.
In a way.
And the newest episode was really good. Like
all the episodes have been really good.
I really like that part with
disliked
the
any of
kids.
them.
I like the part with the kids, and you could tell there's a lot of background dealing going on around with like a lot of people who shouldn't know information, who they're trying to hide information from, and it's kind of interesting.
And there's a cute robot girl, and there's a character called Loser who is like a thief who always like broadcasts his robberies, but he never gets away with it, so he's called Loser. It's pretty fun. I don't know. I had a good time with it. That's definitely my most fun show of this season, personally. So I'd recommend it. Let's see.
Next up is Divine Gate again. No, I'm kidding.
Divine Gate again.
I'll go really quickly on about this. This is not me selling this to you, just part of the discussion. Durara X Ketsu, X2 Ketsu. Really solid episode. Wow, it's a really good show.
Durara? Why are you saying wow, Durara being good?
No, that's why I was making sarcastic. There's a fight between two characters, and it's really, really good because literally, if one character okay, Masaomi gets in a fight with
Masaomi.
Masaomi gets in a fight with Rochi.
Who's Rochi?
Rochi's the guy who fought Kodota in season.
Biker
the fedora
dude.
guy.
The biker dude.
Biker fedora dude gets in a fight with
MC.
No, that's Mikado.
Mikado. This is
Masaomi is Mikado's
leader
best friend.
of the Yellow
yeah.
Stars.
But basically, Masaomi fights Rochi, and if he gets hit once, he's basically out because Rochi's super powerful. Like, the thing is, like, we know how strong Kodota is, and Kodota put up a fight with Rochi when Rochi was injured from Shizuo.
Yeah.
Rochi is in full health fighting Masaomi.
Yeah, well, he was in full health when he fought Shizuo, but that's Shizuo.
And that's a whole different story.
And Masaomi so there's two parts of this episode. There's the part with Masaomi fighting Shizuo, and then the other part of Henri being in one of the most interesting dynamics.
Wait, Masaomi versus Shizuo?
No, Masaomi versus Rochi. And Henri being in a conversation with two characters that you would not expect be sitting around at one table, all discussing something very calmly. And it gets really tense, and then it ends on a really tense note. And then you go flashback to Masaomi and in the middle of a fight with Rochi, and then another thing happens, and then the tension runs even higher, and then it ends on a cliffhanger. It's really good. It's really solid, and I'm like, there's so much going on. There's 8 episodes left. What are you gonna do? So yeah, Durara X Ketsu is really good.
Jay, have you watched
a little bit of the first season.
Yeah.
I showed him like the first 8 episodes.
You have to understand, Shizuo is a character who, in one scene, is chasing after a truck while kicking a car like a soccer ball.
Okay.
So...
Next up is Grimgar. Grimgar.
What is
Grimgar?
Grimgar has nothing to do with Gate.
No, I know. I said Gate. I mean Grimgar.
Oh, I thought you were joking about something.
No, I'm not joking about anything. You took that as a joke, and I took it as me messing up.
Grimgar is Sword Art Online, but we don't know we're inside
Okay,
Sword Art Online.
Stop comparing every single MMO anime to not even every single fantasy anime to Sword Art.
We are in an MMO.
We're not in an MMO.
You need to get farther in the game and not die, or else you'll be dead for real. I wouldn't say
There
the
is
same thing about Log
no
Horizon or
reason.
Overlord.
Anyway, Jay, since you like
I
SAO,
do like SAO.
Thank
I
you.
think you might like Grimgar.
I'm sorry. No, it's more like the survival games. It's
Okay,
it's like
okay.
they find themselves
Wait,
on an island
okay,
with all these
wait.
rules, and they
So
have to follow
Jay,
the rules.
here's the laydown, okay? This group of people wake up and they all have amnesia. They don't know why they're there. They don't know why
So the
anything's
Maze
happening.
Runner.
And they wake up in a fantasy
So
world.
the Hunger Games.
And so they're in a fantasy world.
It's not Hunger Games.
And then they're told, okay, go choose a class and go fight monsters.
So
for money.
Divergent.
Nah.
I'm literally just dropping in plot points from modern movies. Choose a
But-
class. Don't remember
So, and
anything.
the reason why we said
Yeah.
SAO is because it's hinted at that they're in an MMO.
The first enemy they fight are goblins, and the goblins drop like wolf teeth and coins.
Oh
and
God.
loot.
Yeah.
But what's
But
really
it is
okay?
fucking horrifying.
But
when
what's
they
really
kill
good
things.
about this, Jay, is that these characters are absolute scrubs. Like, you know how Kirito starts off really powerful and like kills things really easily?
Yeah.
These characters, they're super scrubs.
Yeah,
Like, they're
they just
super
suck.
incompetent. They super suck, and they're fighting life to death battles
Yeah.
with one of the easiest monsters.
And when
in
you
the
kill those
world.
things, it's not like gore. It's not like what's it called? Particles fly off and then they just dissolve. No, you like blood spurts out of them. They come back for second bouts out of
Pretty
adrenaline.
sure this is a fantasy world. Not.
Yeah, it's probably not an actual
There's
video
a
game.
lot
It's,
of reasons why this is.
but it is gruesome. They're like killing things who have like a personality and friends
Yeah.
and like sing
Like-
songs with each
Like,
other.
there's a
and shit.
moment where, like, there's a goblin that's just sleeping, and they're like, well, we need money, so they go up and kill the goblin that's sleeping.
It's and it's like it's pretty gruesome. It's like kill or be killed and
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you want to watch an anime with a fantasy setting that's really slow and really good, Grimgar.
Yeah, Grimgar. Grimgar's
Yeah.
awesome.
Which, there's a lot of death flags for specific character. Remember when we were watching that and we're like, wow, there's a lot of death flags for this character.
Kinda.
And I'm really excited to know what happens next.
I feel like he's not gonna die.
Okay. I don't know.
That's personally, but
Because
see.
I don't want him. Like, do I want characters to die? I want the redhead guy to die, but not him.
I don't mind the red hair guy.
But anyway, yeah, Grimgar's pretty good. I'd say, take a dabble in it. I think you would enjoy it. The thing is though, it's really slow. That's the only thing I have to say.
I don't find it that slow.
Anyway, Jay, moving on from one fantasy anime to another fantasy anime, Konosubarashi.
Which is that?
It's the parody one.
Oh.
The MMO one.
The MMO one.
The other MMO one.
The Afterworld.
Neither of these are MMOs.
Afterworld one.
Yeah, this
Neither
is
of
even
these
less
are.
of an MMO because it's confirmed not an MMO.
Okay.
This one's like
Okay, so Jay, I was telling you about this Konosubarashi, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at a summary here.
it was
And
just silly
okay,
fun.
no, here's the thing. That's not the summary's not gonna get it to you. The plot is the main character.
No, the summary will definitely say a lot of it.
Okay, well, the main character is a NEET. He's a shut-in, and he tries to save a girl, and he thinks he gets run over and dies. And because of that, he gets teleported to a fantasy world. He gets to choose to go to a fantasy world, right?
Or he can go to heaven. Which
Or
is
he could go
apparently
to heaven.
boring, or he can be resurrected.
Yes. And he goes to this fantasy world with a companion. And his companion is completely incompetent. He has no powers at all. And all the companions that he picks up are all incompetent.
And they all have like weird characteristics you wouldn't expect.
So,
Like there's
So in the
and
most
they
recent
say this in
episode-
the second episode, it's a Chunbyo dark mage
Ba-
who has like the strongest spell, but like
she only knows how to do that one spell.
yeah.
Huh.
And it like takes a bunch of time to set up, and she's like a totally useless character because of all this.
And then they have it in the most recent episode, they picked up a tank. And the tank is a complete masochist.
yeah, it's just weird shit like that. And it just gets into really awkward situations because of these characters. But it's actually kind of fun because like they have all these weird fantasy crazy battles that you would just be like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? But
And Jay, as a person who like has played, as I know who've played World of Warcraft, I think you might enjoy it for the parody aspect of
Played
it.
many an MMO, so I'll probably check this one out.
Like, okay, so Jay, you want to hear one of the jokes?
I
right?
mean, I'll
There's
hear
a
it, but I mean, you can tell me.
Okay, so one of the jokes is that like they get an emergency call and they have to go to the gate because it's an
Oh,
emergency.
this is a big one. You're spoiling the
Oh,
big
don't
guy.
spoil the
It's
big
fine.
one.
No, it's not a big one.
No, that's pretty big. That's like the point of the episode there.
No, it isn't. No, the other point is this thief part.
Yeah.
So basically,
Aw,
you know
come
event
on.
quests, right?
Yes.
So they go out to do this event quest, and all
No,
of a
it's
sudden,
not. It's not just an event quest. They're like, oh shit, every adventure get out here. They're like sounding the warning bells
it's
and freaking out.
and all the townspeople are running into their houses because this is an event quest. And then all of a sudden, in the horizon, they're like, "Oh man, what's gonna happen? What's gonna attack us? I don't know what's gonna attack us." And then flying level 1 cabbage comes in, and they start just hitting
Like
them.
a swarm of 1,000,000 cabbages just flying in the air. And
Because
like,
they're
yeah,
in
that's
the
right.
beginner
In
town.
this world, cabbages are living creatures that migrate when they're ripe. And if you let them get past, they'll fall into some canyon where no one will eat them, or some bullshit like that.
Good God.
It's such like a RuneScape or World of Warcraft quest kind of thing.
But yeah, I think you'd really
and I
enjoy
really
this.
feel like you shouldn't have spoiled that, but whatever.
It's fine, because there's other jokes in that. But I feel like you'd really enjoy this, Jay, because you've played MMOs, you've experienced this, and like watching this, you will be like, wow, like you'll laugh at a lot of the MMO tropes that they make fun of.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
Cool.
Again, that's one of our better ones.
Yeah, that's one of the better ones.
The ones
this
that we
season.
said so far that are best ones. I think we said 4 so far.
Yeah.
Erase, Dimension W, Grimgar, and this one.
Yeah, Konosubarashi.
Yeah. So now we're gonna go into maybe some bad ones soon.
Oh no, we have IBO.
IBO.
We haven't watched today's episode, but
You probably wouldn't be able to follow all the way
Jay,
along
this
with
is
IBO.
less of you selling to you and us just talking about the episode real quickly. IBO's really good. IBO's really good.
IBO had what's it called? You know Dawson, the moment that made you hate whatever show.
Gios.
Gios. They had one of those
Oh.
moments.
No, but it's
But it's
no.
not
No. It's not the way of like, oops, accidentally made you do a massacre.
No, it's the bad guys did
It's
that.
the bad guys go, we need to set up a massacre to show an example.
So they have people who are peacefully protesting. So what they do is they set a bomb to make it look like the peaceful protesters were doing it. And then as soon as the bomb goes off, they go, oh shit, they're firing at us, and then mow down the entire crowd.
So basically, they set it up to kill all these workers.
Damn.
And
so they
like
can make an example out
to
of
make
them.
to make an example out of them, and it's one of the thing is like it's really gruesome on how they do it.
An important character actually died.
Yeah, and like one of the main characters is now dead, and like
Damn.
who gets caught up in the fire and all this stuff, and they're now dead, and we're just like,
Yeah.
It's IBO is really good, and I really like IBO, and as a person who didn't really
I'm not
watch
gonna say
Gundam,
anything is too original in it, but I'm enjoying it.
it's really good. I really like IBO. I want more IBO. There was a new IBO this week, and
IBO is not disappointing.
Yeah, we'll watch
Uchimaru Mono kind of is in this last episode.
It's disappointing me a little bit.
This last episode was just Haku like moaning and being a.
Are we just gonna switch?
Like I don't mind him moaning, but he was being a shit about it this episode. He was
Well,
going, "Oh,
okay.
I'm so like."
That's
sad
where a lot of
it's
people
me."
were getting mad about his character, and for me, I'm like that. For a person who's just experienced with war, who just saw tons of people just get mowed down,
which is fine, but he didn't explain his points, like why he was so upset or what's going on. He just goes, "Oh, I'm scared and I feel sorry for myself," and I'm like, dude, come on, you're better than that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never seen Haku being like being that like self-concerned. Whenever he's self-concerned, it's like I don't want to do this. I'm too lazy.
Yeah.
Not I want to save my own hide. I don't know.
Well, it was not that he wanted to save his own hide; is that he was worried about his friends dying.
Yeah, but it did not seem like that.
I thought he was sad. I thought he was all messed up because he couldn't do anything. He
No,
was like, I
he
feel
couldn't-
really bad.
he couldn't do anything.
There was literally nothing
He
I could
couldn't
do in that
do
situation.
anything. He couldn't do anything.
Which is so
and
different than his normal character.
No.
Usually he doesn't want to do anything.
No, but like in
Yeah.
that situation, because he realized he couldn't do anything, and if his friends were in that situation, if he was put in that situation where his friends were in that spot and he couldn't do anything, he wouldn't be able to protect them, and he was scared that he wouldn't be able to protect his friends, his companions.
And the episode was kind of a miss for me, honestly.
Yeah.
I've liked every other episode up to this point, though. Like more than.
Wait, how many anime are you guys watching a week?
A lot.
16.
I'm
Andrew,
not
of course, is
watching
16.
most of
Oh.
these, by the way.
16?
Yeah, I watched 16. That's why we weren't trying to sell you on these last two. This is just stuff that we've been that are holdover from fall.
Yeah. This is stuff that we're continuing to watch.
Yeah, which we'll continue to watch Utorimono because we're this far in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm watching like 6,
Oh, I can't
maybe.
wait for the second shark jump in Utorimono.
Oh man, I can't wait. Okay, next up is Princess Stride. We did not watch the most recent 2 episodes, so we'll catch up eventually.
Can I talk about something a little off topic really quick?
What?
Speaking of shark jumps. We watched a Fairly Odd Parents episode.
No! Okay, anyway. So
Not
Princess
gonna talk
Stride.
about that.
So, Jay, do you like Free?
Good. Do I know that?
It's
Do
the
you even
swimming
know about
anime.
Free?
Oh,
swimming
God,
anime.
no.
No, take that, but make it into runners. You should watch You should watch it because you like running.
Jay, Fairly Odd Parents added a new character who's basically like a girl but perfect, and Timmy has to share his godparents with her. And the episode was like the least self-aware thing I've ever seen. It had duck lip selfies and like all these stupid pop culture references, and it didn't follow its own logic. It was horrible. It was like it looked like they literally let a fan come in and write the episode. Like it was fan fiction. It was insane. But they're keeping this character.
But anyway, Jay, so you like
That
running.
was bad.
You like running and stuff
Princess
like that.
Stride's pretty fun.
You should watch Princess Stride because you like running.
It's not as similar to Free as people seem to think it is.
But yeah, it has pretty boys and they run. You should watch it.
Every anime has pretty boys.
Okay, I am going to defend Dawson a little bit on this one. The pretty boys only come up in the background, and they just seem like character designs to me.
I know.
There
I'm
is
just
a stupid cross-dressing episode, which I hated.
Of course.
But a lot more of this is actually about running and stuff. So it's sort of about the sport, and there's a lot of interesting action that's going on. And I'm sure the next few episodes are going to be exciting.
The huge race was this episode.
So it's not very like pretty boys doing.
Yeah.
pretty
So
boys.
Jay,
more about sports
you
than
like
Rail
running.
Wars
You
has
should
about
check
trains.
this out.
I don't think we should give Jay this many animes then.
No, no, I know.
If I watch like one or two.
Yeah, I know. We're just telling you like all the ones that we're watching. You wanted to know.
As Dawson said, watch the race.
Watch a race,
Watch
watch
a race.
Grimgar. That's
Wow, Dawson.
all I have
Watch
to
my
say.
two favorite. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, what do you expect me to say?
Watch his favorites?
So
I think those two
Okay.
are my favorite this season, and they're what I'm most excited for.
So,
And I'm
Sushi
not gonna
Police
say
is a
otherwise.
2-minute short, is a 3-minute short about police people who police sushi.
Sushi
That's all you
Police
have to
is
know.
one joke.
Don't watch Sushi, please.
It is a single joke, and we're only watching it because we've already started it.
Oh, if you like romance, Nijiro Days is pretty good.
Just read the manga, to be completely honest. Like, the anime is a decent introduction to that, but just read the manga.
But anyway, so the last anime on our list, Jay, is Sekko Boys.
Oh,
And Jay, we're gonna live watch that.
I am going to say that. Are you seriously gonna live watch it?
We're gonna live watch that.
Okay,
one.
send him a link. Don't let him search it.
I'm not
I know,
allowed
I
to search
won't.
it?
I won't.
direct link.
Hold
You're
on.
not allowed to search it.
Okay. God.
Here, send him a link.
But we're gonna watch it after we end the podcast.
Oh, God.
So that's the animes we're watching, Jay. That's what was the most recent discussions.
Just edit that in there, maybe.
Let's see, Hara and Chika, you don't have to watch.
Wait, can we explain why you don't have to watch?
Which one?
Haruka and
Chika.
Chika, why?
No, we don't need to go
Why
with
do we
that.
need to
We
talk
don't need to
about
talk
that?
about any of those.
Hey, how do you get a person who's mourning over a dead brother to join your band?
We shouldn't talk about this because he might actually watch it because we told him.
Yeah,
not
that's
to.
actually 100% true. He knows.
So if we just don't talk about it, he won't watch it.
Exactly.
It's a...
Okay.
Why do you think I've not talked about it?
Okay, then skip episode 1 because it's boring. Episode 2 is what made us furious.
No, don't. No.
Don't talk
Oh,
about it.
Don't-
good.
but-
You're making a bad decision
Let's
here.
look at
Andrew and I
that.
specifically avoided this one for a very specific
So what's this
reason.
one called?
You don't need
not
to
gonna
know.
Say the name.
So anyway.
What was it again?
So Jay.
No. You can't.
Why?
Because he might watch
He
it.
will watch it.
Yeah, I
He
want him
will
to watch
no.
it.
There's
he
so
will
many better
watch
things
it
for him to
and not
watch.
watch Erased out of spite.
What was that? I didn't catch
No.
that.
Okay, if you promise to watch a race 2, I'll tell you what it is.
I can't promise such things.
Oh, I'm sorry then.
Okay, so Jay, if there's one thing to take from this, is please watch
Mhm.
Erased.
It's called Hariha and Chicken.
No, Connor.
Da, da, da.
No, Connor.
Again, episode 2 has literally nothing, so just... Or episode 2 is the one with the bad shit.
Just watch Hibeki or Hyoka instead. Take your pick. They're both amazing.
Dude, episode 2 is the worst thing, and it made Dawson and I rage until we drank.
Haruhai?
Oh, can you not spell it? That's okay. We'll just...
Oh no, I found it.
God damn it.
This
Episode
looks
2.
real bad. Oh, I'm totally gonna watch this.
But Jay, can you just do us a favor though and please?
Oh,
watch
of course.
No, but like seriously, like Jay, I
In
know.
all seriousness.
But Jay, in all seriousness, can you please watch Erased?
The OP's great for Erased, by the way.
Okay.
You guys are overselling the shit.
I know.
No, because I
I-
know enough of Jay that I really need to push this on him, or else.
I will, but don't
You
worry.
will.
I'll also watch the anime that made you
I'm just-
like drink.
I haven't
No,
been this
okay.
excited about an anime
Jay,
in a long
I agree
time.
with you. You go watch
Like,
that because I actually want to watch it too.
Erased is really good.
But
A
please watch Erased,
6.4.
okay?
Wait, Haruka and Chika said that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad people know what's up.
So, besides that, Jay, what are the ones that we interested
Well,
you
I
on?
mean, if I don't watch Erased, I feel like some level of divine retribution will come down and smite me. So I think I'll watch Erased.
Thank you, Jay.
I might watch the MMO parody one.
Mhm.
Let's see. We also talked about. I've been trying to keep a list here.
The other fantasy one.
Yeah, Grimgar looks interesting. I may or may not be interested in Grimgar. I do like Gate, and if I like Erased, I mean, it would be a natural third just to watch everything.
Yeah. You don't have to watch Phantom World.
You know, I'm gonna keep watching Phantom World. I don't know why it's not that awe-inspiring, but I will watch it.
Yeah, Jay, please, when you watch Erased, do it sometime this week, and please text me your thoughts when you get to episode.
Okay,
4?
yeah.
I think we went through 4, right?
Yeah, 4. When you
Let's
get to
see.
episode 4.
What else? What else was there? Just so I can go down the list here. There was.
Dimension W a lot, but you don't have to watch
There
that
was
again.
what was it, Dimension Gate?
Dimension W.
Dimension W.
It's
I-
Divine Gate.
Divine
That's it.
Gate, Dimension W.
Divine Gate. I'll have to watch the first episode of Divine Gate because it'll be like a bad high school play.
Or you can watch the second.
Yeah.
First, second, or fourth. Either one.
The third, like, nothing happens.
Third is fine, but like first, second, or fourth, like. Oh, he killed 666 people!
Just like what?
Okay. But besides that, any last minute thoughts, guys?
I don't know. Well, I guess we're gonna show them Psycho Boys now.
Yeah.
Excited for that. I'm.
What are we doing next week?
We have no idea.
Well, shall we start our Gynex?
We can start Gynax. We could, or
Wait, if we start
it's
Gynax,
not,
then we just-
isn't it your turn?
Yeah, it comes around to me.
So it's either
So
your
we
turn.
either do Gynex or
So
you
you
get
can-
on my end. What do you
honestly-
want?
If we start yours, then it comes back to us too. So.
Yeah, but that means 2 weeks for me, 2 weeks for Dawson, 2 weeks for you.
Are we gonna keep going 2-2-2?
Yeah, let's just do
or
two.
Are we gonna go 1-1-1?
We'll do 2 because I
Oh,
like.
so people can do 24s if they want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, because my next one's probably gonna be Space Dandy.
So, besides that,
Yeah.
Jay, thank you for coming
yeah.
on again.
Yeah.
You had again, it was nice chilling out and talking about
For
anime.
sure.
Please.
Oh,
watch
yeah.
Erased.
Andrew's like begging you. It's funny.
I am literally
Guys,
on my
watch
knees
me
begging
not
you,
like
Jay.
it.
Oh,
I know.
you're probably like.
I might feel bad if you do, because I don't usually overhype things. I try really hard not to.
When
overhype
people
things.
hype things, sometimes I
And
don't
have
like them,
forepassed
but
that.
I'm gonna trust that Gate is that Erased is good.
Okay.
So feel the
but
pressure.
besides that,
Yeah.
thank you for listening, and goodbye, and good night.
Yeah. Good night.